Hello, everyone. Yes, Clarence has left.
One of the largest artificial sweetness studies has just been released, and it helps to answer some really important questions, because previous studies have raised concerns about the potential risks of artificial sweeteners. The World Health Organization even issued a conditional recommendation against them for weight control or to reduce the risk of developing diabetes. But I see patients at the clinic all of the time who are struggling to kick the habit of drinking sugary drinks, so they often ask me whether they should switch to a zero sugar option with artificial sweeteners instead, and it's been a tricky question to answer. Now though, with this new study that directly compared sugary drinks to artificially sweetened drinks, I can give my patients a clear answer. Plus, the study uncovered some really interesting effects on the gut microbiome from artificial sweeteners, which shed some light on the risk conversation. So why might we consider artificially sweetened drinks in the first place? Well, the logic seems straightforward, because consuming low or no calorie drinks instead of their sugary counterparts should mean a substantial cut in calorie consumption, and that should help us lose or
No, haven't gotten the ADHD meds yet. Oh, dude, I had the most annoying day. So, I bought some black market Cialis. Oh. Hey, Gum Gum. So, I bought some black market Cialis, and it was from the same manufacturer that I buy my steroids from, including my growth hormone. And the growth hormone and the steroids they sell are great. And the Cialis that they're selling also had a lab report from Janishik saying that it was in fact Cialis. So I figured, it's way cheaper than getting it through a doctor. It's about a third the price. So I figured I'd try it. It gave me severe fucking edema. I put on about 20 pounds of water weight. I went from about 220 to 240 pounds. Like overnight. And so I go to the hospital, I tell them what happened. I tell them, the steroids I'm taking, I told them about the Cialis. And I told them that I think the water retention is from the Cialis because I never got that side effect from steroids. But I just took this black market Cialis, and then I get insane water retention. So I end up talking to a doctor and a medical student. Apparently, water retention is actually a common side effect if you take a high dose of any kind of vasodilator. But they also said, like, who the fuck knows? Like, it's also black market, so who knows what else could be in it, or if it was made improperly. So, what I was doing to try to get rid of the water retention was I was only eating grapes and sweet potatoes, and I also took 1,500 milligrams of potassium supplements, and I drank a fuck ton of water. By the time I got to the hospital, I actually started urinating a lot, and the water retention was starting to die down. They ran a few tests. So, they looked at my creatinine, and I told the doctor there's no point in measuring my creatinine. They were worried I had kidney damage. And I said, creatinine isn't a marker of kidney damage. And then she said, yeah, but we can compare it to other tests you've had. And I said, well, it's still not going to do anything. So they also took a urine sample. My creatinine was elevated, which you'd expect, but it doesn't mean anything. I had no protein in my urine, so I don't have kidney damage, which I already knew. I had a cystatin C test, a month prior. They also ran an ECG, echocardiogram. That came back normal. The woman who did it said it's normal, but you might be like borderline for potassium poisoning. So I might have taken a bit too much potassium. But again, apparently the ECG was normal. So again, heart function was fine. They were just worried that like something might have happened, like I might have just gotten sudden kidney damage or like damage to my heart, and that might have caused the edema. But everything was fine, so it just seems like I had an adverse reaction to the black market Cialis. I've been pissing like fucking crazy though, and most of it's gone. So I still have a little bit of edema in my ankles and shit. Most of it's gone from like my upper body. But that was really fucking annoying. I had so much fucking swelling. Like my face was swelling, my lips, I could feel my lips like bloating up. Just arms, abdomen, legs, ankles, just fucking everywhere. It was fucking horrendous. So yeah, lesson learned, don't take black market Cialis. Apparently black market steroids are fine. Never had any side effects, but go figure, black market Cialis gave me an adverse reaction. Let's see, Dodo donated $2. Our new research suggests TikTok's algorithm systematically boosts pro-Mamdani and anti-Cuomo content. Well, yeah, no shit. Like, how in the fuck... it's so insane that TikTok isn't banned yet.
They're jumping in. Look at them all.
Florida has wild monkeys? Wow.
These are all monkeys jumping in. Oh
wow.
My God, it's raining monkeys. This monkeys? Is like crazy.
What kind of monkeys are they? I like that clip of that fat monkey eating a mango. I eliminated 85% of microplastics from my ejaculate, nearly identical drop in my blood, important as a meta-analysis. Testicular inflammation, microplastics are detected. Okay. That's actually interesting that he looked into this, because that might in part explain the drop in male testosterone levels. 2 studies last year showed that microplastics were detected in every human testicular and semen sample tested. Therapy we think most responsible for this reduction is sauna, as it also eliminated most environmental toxins in my body, including those linked to various plastics. Big no-nos like microwaving and plastic cutting board, having a reverse osmosis water system. Reverse osmosis water systems increase microplastics? I have a reverse osmosis system hooked up in my house. I can't get rid of that. But I got to get rid of my plastic cutting board. I keep being lazy about that. Huh. So there may actually be a benefit to a sauna. Who would have fucking figured?
Diddy Combs,
Right.
would you consider pardoning him?
Well, he was essentially, I guess, sort of half innocent.
Yes.
I don't know what they do. He's still in jail or something, but he was celebrating a victory, but he seems, I guess it wasn't as good as a victory. Probably, you know, I was very friendly with him. I got along with him great, and seemed like a nice guy. I didn't know him well. But when I ran for office, he was very hostile.
He said some not so nice things about you, sir.
Yeah, and
Yes.
it's hard, you know, like you, we're human beings.
Right.
And we don't like to have things cloud our judgment, right? But when you knew someone and you were fine, and then you run for office and he made some terrible statements. So I don't know, it's more difficult. It makes it more, I'm being honest, it makes it more difficult to do.
But more likely a
Why in the fuck would he even consider doing anything to help Diddy? Like, what does he have to do with the court system and, like, that particular person? Palestinian woman asking an Israeli police officer questions, acting innocent, only pull a knife, try to stab him to death simply because he's Jewish.
אוקיי, הנה, תכף מוציאה, תכף מוציאה.
אני מוציאה את הסכין מהתיק?
כן? כן, מהתיק.
Yeah, it's almost as if Palestinians are fucking crazy. Well, thanks for the donation, Dodo. Dodo, $20.
I do feel like I have a hard time differentiating where AI begins and stops, because I do see AI as fundamentally an extension of computing in some pretty fundamental way. I feel like
A gay retard. Watch full, you might want to take back your comment, VG. Video unavailable. Oh. Cat from Gaza didn't want to leave the IDF jeep. Soldiers decided to take it to Israel. Promised to find him a loving home. Wow. Well, that is a nice cat. I hope he finds a good home. Cats are so cool. I love cats. I got a cat sitting on me right now. He's a sweetie. Trump is the master negotiator. Zelensky and Trump Putin meeting cancellation. As soon as long-range missiles were off the table, Russia automatically lost interest in diplomacy. Zelensky suggested that Putin was once again manipulating Trump. We made Russia reveal that the tomahawk is the card they take seriously. Yeah. Well, thanks for the donation, Dodo. Dodo Tiller's second and final New York City mayor debate is wrapping up right now, and there are gonna be some clips I'll send you later, probably also after Trump forced Zelensky to ceasefire on current lines. Now look. Putin-Trump summit in Hungary called off after Moscow rejected a ceasefire along the current front line. Yeah. Well, Russia's getting pretty scared and desperate. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. More trend, more men. Donate 214. Did the erection quality boost you got from steroids fade away, lessen with time? No. I wanted to try taking Cialis. Again, just for, like, gym benefits. I took Cialis before, prescribed by a doctor, when I had severe depression. I had erectile dysfunction from the depression, and I really liked the Cialis. Like, you're gonna have stronger boners than you will naturally, and I found that it increased my sensitivity, so sex just felt better. So I figured if I can get the Cialis for like 3 times cheaper than I would normally, and maybe still get some of that benefit, and then on top of that have improved blood flow, bigger pumps in the gym, stuff like that, why not give it a shot? But the effect I've noticed from taking steroids is my erections are similar to like what I felt on Cialis. Oh, so I'm in Canada as well and get Pharma Cialis from my doc. I get 0 water retention. Your UGL Cialis was something else. I got the Cialis headache, but that was literally it. And I got the water retention. I have no idea what the fuck that shit was, but I know with certain drugs, the way it's made like affects how it works in your body. So it might have actually been Cialis, like real Cialis. It's just that it wasn't made properly, and then it just caused a fuck ton of water retention, and it lost the like other benefits, that you'd normally get from it. So I don't know. There was the third-party testing through Janishek that they posted with the batch number and everything, but yeah, it did not work as intended. I don't know what the fuck was going on there. But that's the last time I try black market Cialis. Thanks for the donation, more trend, more men. SV donate $2.
Get ready to jet to fun with Secret Island. Fly in your own private plane, then unlock the hidden massage room.
Whoa, secret room!
Kick back with 2 chill old dudes and discover the treasure.
Treasure time!
Fly in on the private plane, pop open the door, and the old guys arrive in style.
There's treasure in here!
Hit the rock.
Bam!
Secret room packed with loot. Twist the volcano and
hit
the panic button.
Here goes! It's so loud!
Whoosh! Slide into the swirl!
Bill!
The squishiest blue and white goo that makes waves any way you want. Stretch it, splash it.
Whoa, it opened!
The only island with real working spy cams hidden in secret rooms.
And I can see it on the
Track
screen.
the old guys, guard the treasure, and fly in with your own private plane.
Hey, new from Toy Island.
It's Orange Man!
Don't release the files.
Pushes back and hear the real talking action.
He's guarding the top secret
Not for
file.
long.
Don't release the file. Capture him, lock him up, and expand the adventure.
Shh, don't tell.
That's pretty good.
And accelerating through the middle portion of this run. Look at the wrist speed on those circles. Foam control is excellent, no wasted motion. First plate into the rack, that is number 12. She's on record pace.
And she still looks good.
And they're off in the Olympic beer fetching final.
Brown explodes out of the block. She's looking quick. Harris right on her shoulder as they hit the fridges. Doors open. Clean grab from Brown. She's got her bottle first. Harris chasing hard, but Brown is flying on the...
And they're off in the women's vacuum final.
Look at clock. Push that stick back.
Beautiful straight lines already. Brown's closing in. Lou trying to keep pace, but clock.
Walker snatches the plates from the bottom rack. Look at that hand speed.
Lopez already 2 glasses down from the top. Watch the coordination here.
Lena startet explosiv. Rotes T-Shirt, Einzug, zack, erster Punkt auf der Tafel.
Sehr sauberer Dreifachfalt. Der Hoodie liegt wie...
She's on the last fold now. Masa spread, pork set. Doña Rosa racing the clock. 4:59. Tie and drop. Button hit. Incredible. The grand...
And you thought leaving the dishes overnight was okay? Unbelievable.
Every time, Sammy, I tell you, the socks go in the basket, not beside. It's like you don't even listen.
You promised you'd fix the leaky tap last month. Do I have...
Yep. That last one was the most realistic. I could believe that. I gotta send that to my mom. I think she'd find that funny. Well, thanks for the donation, SV. Those were funny. Sir Chess Champ Squire donated $2. This dickhead is a cardiac surgeon who had a heart attack while deer hunting. Then he says his family cooks eggs, steak, chicken, bison. Guess he doesn't care to learn for his sake or his family's.
I'm Dr. Jeremy London. I'm a board-certified cardiovascular surgeon, and I've been in clinical practice for the last 25 years. I'm also a cardiac patient. And today I'd like to share my story as a patient. Not to look for applaud and approve 2022-ish. I wasn't feeling great.
This dude sounds like a fucking retard, dude. There's no helping some people. They're just fucking stupid. Thanks for the donation, Sir Chess Champ Squire.
Did you hear about the trans girl who won girls only gaming tournament in Fortnite? What's your thoughts on T-girls in women only tournaments?
I mean, here's the thing. Sports are not for women. They're just not. Women can't even compete in chess against men. There are literally women's only chess tournaments, and there's this whole notion that women are just as smart and capable as men are, but in physical sports they can't compete. It's the same in everything. Women do not have any competitive advantage over men in fucking anything. They're not even on the same level in anything. So you need women's only chess tournaments, you need women's only gaming tournaments for them to even have a fucking chance. And I don't even think it's because women are inherently dumber than men. Although I think they are kind of inherently dumber in some ways, the nagging bullshit and the emotional nonsense. But women are not as competitive. They are not autistic freaks who will, practice hours and hours and hours, day in, day out at a certain skill so that they can, win at something. They're just going to be far more casual. And on top of that, if you're talking about video games that require a high degree of skill, coordination, reaction time, they're going to be at a disadvantage because their nervous system efficiency is lower. So they can't react at the same speed. They're in a shooter or something, they're just not going to have the same hand-eye coordination and stuff like that. But should a trans woman be able to play in a fucking girls video game? I would say yes. For the only, if women are going to fucking claim that they're just as capable, they can play chess too, then they shouldn't have a problem with a trans woman, playing in esports or playing in a chess tournament. So if women as a whole end up admitting they're inferior to men in every way, and they're less competitive, they're lazier, they're not going to try as hard, they're they have worse coordination, worse reaction time, and they will admit that they just cannot compete against men, then sure, if you're going to admit that, then block trans women from competing, because now you're at least being honest that you can't compete with men. But yeah, women are trying to still play this stupid fucking game where they can, they think they can compete with men. Even when something's purely intellectual, like chess, they can't compete. And it's just because they don't have the competitive drive that men do. The amount of women who are going to spend 15 hours a day memorizing chess moves is practically zero. But the amount of men who are willing to do that, you're talking about thousands and at least thousands of men. So yeah, again, if they're going to play this cope game that they're just as good at men with shit, but then they need a fucking women's only video game tournament or something, yeah, fuck it. Let trans women compete. Thanks for the donation, Blur. Natural hypertrophy is a retard. Donate $2. Just watched your debate with that PhD dude on cholesterol and ASCVD. Any tips on learning how to interpret scientific data? You impress me. Also, I lulled at this. It's really just critical thinking at the end of the day. So, like, all you have to do is just use critical thinking skills. When it comes to certain domains, like heart disease, you do have to have some requisite knowledge because you can get thrown off by some misinformation. But yeah, it's most like 99% of it is critical thinking, and the other 1% is just building up your knowledge on the topic and just like reading more. You can naturally replicate the effects of anabolic steroids by perfecting sleep. Sleep will not replicate the effect of anabolic steroids. Daily fasting. Starving yourself does not replicate the effects of anabolic steroids. Setting weekly PRs and compound lifts. What in the fuck kind of sense does that... Like, this might be dumber than the daily fasting. I'm assuming the daily fasting thing has some dumb shit thing to do with growth hormone. So first of all, growth hormone is not a fucking anabolic steroid, it's a peptide. So I'm assuming he's thinking, oh, when you fast, your growth hormone increases. But that doesn't make any fucking sense in the context of this post because he's talking about replicating the effect of anabolic steroids. And growth hormone is not an anabolic steroid. Daily fasting does not replicate the effects of growth hormone. And there's two main reasons for that. One, you can take massive doses of growth hormone, way beyond what your body can ever produce naturally. So if like you do a intermittent fast and your growth hormone increases by, let's say, I don't know, 100%, well, you can raise your growth hormone by like 1,000% by just injecting growth hormone. You can produce there's no limit to how much growth hormone you can inject. You can take as much as you fucking want. On top of that, it's transient. You don't get the same peak and prolonged levels as you would from injecting. Fuck! I spilled my energy drink. What was I gonna say? The reason fasting increases growth hormone is because growth hormone it's a metabolic hormone. So it basically increases when your body transitions to using fat for fuel. So if you're in a fasted state, your growth hormone's going to increase because that's just what your body uses to metabolize fat. It's kind of like how your body releases insulin when you eat protein or carbohydrates. Like, that's just what happens. So, like, this is just fucking stupid. Setting weekly PRs and compound lifts, that's just fucking retarded. Guess what? Anabolic steroids makes it a lot fucking easier to set weekly PRs and compound lifts, and this has nothing to do with an effect. That's just retarded. Sauna, 20 minutes, like again, show me anybody who's gained 20 pounds of muscle in 2 months from using a fucking sauna for 20 minutes. Eating strict animal-based diet. Yeah, again. Who is this dumb motherfucker? Is that natural? No. Wait, who is that? Who is this stupid fuck? So, eating an animal-based diet. So, I literally gained 20 pounds in 2 months. pure muscle. From only taking 30 milligrams of tescipionate and 5 IU's growth hormone per day. Show me anybody who's gained that amount of muscle mass in 2 months from eating an animal-based diet. Absolutely nobody. And you'll typically see people who are eating these like carnivore-style diets, they end up losing muscle mass or developing hypogonadism and just feeling like shit, and then they end up adding in carbs to their diet, like Paul Saladino. Hormone manipulation naturally holds insane power, right? Like, I'm just gonna assume if we look at this dude's lifts and photos, like, this, like, he doesn't compare to me. Like, buddy, last time I got my testosterone checked, my testosterone was at 2,220 nanograms per deciliter. Best case scenario, if you're a natural, you're going to be around 1,000. So I'm more than double what like the high end of a natural would be. And on top of that, I'm taking fucking 5 IU's of growth hormone, which is about double, if not a little more than double what you'd produce naturally. So like, it's just fucking retarded to say this. Like, just out of this world fucking stupid. Thanks for the donation. Natural hypertrophy is a retard.
Get ready with me as someone living with possession.
Just going to start with dabbing a little bit of concealer underneath our eye. You know, this is a really easy way to cover up dark circles.
Paint your face, you whore!
If you're new to my channel, you may have noticed that I sometimes spew forth hateful comments, and that's because I am what you call living with possession. A few months ago, a demon named Fornos took over my body, and you know what? I decided this is not going to stop me from making videos.
You're mine, I own you,
Oh, would you look at that?
No, I'm not training while I'm sick. It's a really bad idea to train while you're sick. I guess I kind of did. I had the water retention from the black market Cialis, so I put on 2 sweaters and track pants, and I did cardio on my elliptical machine for 30 minutes. And I tried to sweat as much as I could to get rid of some of the water retention. But other than that, I don't train while I'm sick.
We're going to want to cover that up, aren't we? So we're going to need a good foundation to get rid of this scar. What you need to do to find the right foundation is...
Suck cocks in hell!
No, it's to test it.
On your asshole skin!
No, you want to test it on your face skin. Silly guy. That was actually helpful.
Okay.
I hope you enjoy the tutorial.
Make sure to subscribe.
I'm just gonna start with dabbing a little bit of concealer underneath.
Whatever, man, it's a trick.
No, it's much more than that.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Can I clean here? I'm sorry, I'm terrible sorry. It's for, I'm sorry. Deadlift. Can I try? I have knowledge.
Yes, of course.
Deadlift's my favorite. Oh, it's a fake? Wait. It's like my warm-up.
The Anatoly videos get very boring very quickly. Thanks for the donation, SV.
Did you see the episode where Beavis and Butthead react to Greg Doucette? It's fucking hilarious. I couldn't find the specific clip on YouTube, but it is this episode at 4 minutes.
Let me... I'm not going to show it on stream, I don't think, because copyright. I do use Watch Cartoon. No way.
Oh, really smart, you know? See you later.
Yay! A 190 calorie wrap with 10 calories of sauce on it. I'm not kidding. This one's 200 calories, and this one's 200 calories.
This guy applied for a chef job, but they said, I'm sorry, sir, you're gonna need to put on a shirt. And he was like, No can do.
Yeah. That's hilarious. I gotta watch that episode later. That's funny. Thanks for the donation, Ben Boy. Thanks for the donation, Wandering Mason. Appreciate it. Oh, no pinned dono link? What the fuck? I swear I pinned it.
Was bulking for all that time as a natural worth it? Specifically for the muscle gains? And what made you cut down the white?
I don't think I needed to bulk that crazy. I might have overdone it. Like it's debatable, right? Like, I know Scientific Snitch has said gaining a bunch of body fat doesn't benefit muscle growth. I think she has a bit of personal bias because she's like a 5 foot tall, like 90-pound woman. So if you're a tiny person like that, I mean, and you're only like, I think I saw a video where she was benching 170 for a few reps, and her benching style is like kind of fucking retarded. I don't even know if it would be meat legal in the IPF. It's like super arched, super wide grip, you know. So it's like when you can only get not that strong and you're a tiny woman, like, yeah, you might not notice a benefit to, you know, bulking up like that. But if you're like a big dude who's over 6 feet and you're trying to bench like over 400 pounds, there's probably a benefit to bulking and getting fatter. I don't think it's, you know, coincidence that you see the strongest men on the fucking planet bulking up like crazy, in order to lift like insane weights. Like, look at Eddie Hall when he did the first 500 kilogram deadlift. That dude was bloat max to fuck. Like, he was fucking like, dude, Shrek doesn't even fucking compare. Like, let me see if I can find the photo of him with his shirt off. Like, this was him when he did the 500 kilo deadlift. Hofthor, he recently did 505. Like, he's also gotten like way chunkier. So that, like, there's Hofthor with his 505. Like, I mean, if it wasn't necessary to put on that additional body fat to gain that strength, and put on that extra muscle, like why is everyone doing that? Like, it just... So I don't really care what kind of stupid shit she can fucking say to like rationalize this idea that you can stay lean and build as much muscle as you want and get as strong as you want. Like, the reality is, I don't think you'd see every fucking strongman on the planet needing to put on this body fat, you know, to lift the biggest weights possible. So I think there's probably some mechanisms involved that allows you to put on more muscle and strength when you gain body fat. It might have something to do with IGF-1. So you are going to increase IGF-1 levels by being in a caloric surplus. And IGF-1 is super important for muscle growth. So it probably has something to do with that. But I did probably benefit from gaining that weight and being on a prolonged bulk, but considering like the effects that it could have on your health, and I just don't like being fat. Honestly, I think you're better off just taking steroids and staying leaner than being natural and bulking like that. Like, why bother, right? Like, you have steroids, and people talk about how, oh, steroids are so bad for you. Well, obesity is worse for you. I can guarantee you that. So I lost 70 pounds of body fat, going from 270 to 200. Like, are you telling me having 70 pounds of excess body fat is better for you than taking steroids? And I've gotten blood work. My LDL cholesterol actually went down being on testosterone. My HbA1c improved. It went from 5.1 to 4.9. I have a healthy blood pressure. It's 110/70. My hematocrit is in range. So, like, and on top of that, there's other benefits. Like, you just feel better. There's mental health, cognitive benefits. It improves collagen synthesis, so you're less likely to get injured and you can recover easier. So it's like, you know, I think being natural is just fucking stupid. If you want to be as strong as you possibly can be, and also kind of, you know, have considerations for your health, you're better off taking like moderate doses of steroids and staying leaner than going on some crazy bulks. But and what made me cut down in weight? Like, I didn't want to be fat. Thanks for the donation, Andrew. I cruise on 500 milligrams in 2 hours. How much of a lifespan reduction do steroids cause? There's no way I could possibly answer that. And via which pathways? Oxidative stress, skin aging, plaque, heart disease. Check out this carnivore doc. It entirely depends on your genetics, how you react to the compounds, what steroids you're taking, what doses, what ancillary supplements, medications you're taking. It entirely depends.
Other popular carnivore influencer.
And again, there's no evidence that steroids shorten your lifespan, period. At least for men with androgen deficiency, testosterone increases lifespan. So men on TRT generally live longer than men who are not on TRT.
Is backtracking after having a health scare.
All right, Dr. Kiltz here. And you know, I've been Mr. Crazy Carnivore for nearly 15 years. I felt amazing. Recently, I've also had a test that showed my CAC score went from 700 to 800, and my CT angiogram.
So, by the way, a 700 coronary artery calcium score is astronomically high, and he got to, like, this guy has late stage heart disease. He is probably going to, like, die of a heart attack or stroke sometime soon.
Angiogram noted a few more plaque sites with calcium in my LAD and my right coronary artery and in my circumflex.
Almost like this aligns with what many of us have been saying for years, that diets high in meat and specifically saturated fat are associated with an increase in LDL cholesterol. And based on the plethora of research we have on the topic, we can be pretty sure that LDL drives the formation of plaque in your arteries and subsequently increases your risk of cardiac events.
Although my heart function and my blood flow is excellent, I feel great.
This is a perfect example of why just because you feel good, it doesn't mean that you're perfectly healthy. He then goes on to say that he's going to be adding in things like algae, fish, potatoes, and that it's okay for people to add in things like asparagus and broccoli.
Could it be?
Yeah. Well, too little, too late, dude.
That maybe my consumption of only red meat may have contributed? I don't know.
Yes, we do know. It did.
To be fair to Dr. Kiltz, Unlike other carnivore influencers, at least he isn't trying to ignore or gloss over the unfavourable aspects of his tests and blood work. Cam, Ray and Eddie all had elevated blood glucose levels, and of course we can't forget one of the biggest culprits, Paul Saladino, who was one of the originals who popularised the diet, then further down the line had to come off strict carnivore because of the negative side effects. Now, to be very clear, this doesn't mean that meat or saturated fat are harmful at any quantity.
Well, I mean, yeah, the dose makes the poison, but, like, why would you eat this garbage?
Or that they couldn't be part of a healthy diet. And yes, a small subset of the population can benefit from short-term elimination diets. But when the only evidence you can show for that diet is anecdotes, and even those anecdotes start running into health problems, which lines up with exactly what the research has been showing for years, as Eddie would say,
wake the fuck up.
Yet another popular...
Yeah, like... It's only a matter of time. These people are just gonna die of heart attack, strokes. Thanks for the donation, I cruise on 500. Dodo donated. The video I sent you earlier that was unavailable was an IRA member posting a clip of your stream saying the IRA is base, and he said you're a piece of shit Zionist, and the IRA doesn't support you, and he was threatening you, but I guess it's taken down for obvious reasons. That's really, really fucking weird. Is that, like, that can't be the general thought of, like, IRA members. Like, are they all against Israel? That'd be really fucking surprising to me, for the IRA to be against Israel. Unless there's, like, some political stuff that I don't know about where the, like, Israel didn't support the IRA or something. That's weird, though. I would have figured the IRA would probably be in support of Israel. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo.
Spec King of Sickness, climate change is getting even worse.
Kept them away. Now even Iceland is not safe. For the first time in recorded history, mosquitoes have invaded the world's last insect-free frontier. And this is why scientists are worried and studying the phenomena.
Well, one less reason to visit Iceland, I guess. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
So this commie, retard, terrorist-loving faggot mumdami is gonna be elected. This wouldn't have ever happened if we never gave women, niggers, and people who aren't the upper echelon of the human race, which is the white man, rights. Watch NYC fail.
Well, I don't know, dude. You have communists and Nazi Germany who kind of elected fascists, and they were majority white. So I don't think that solves that problem. Thanks for the donation, though, Kid Boo.
Why you took Cialis? Couldn't get hard for clearance? You went to the hospital? Didn't you think doctors didn't know shit?
I took Cialis for, like, performance-enhancing benefits, like, not sexual issues, but, you know, like, more blood flow, better pumps in the gym type thing. And, yeah, doctors don't know fucking shit. Some of the tests they ran were sensible, like, you know, just, like, I'm kind of glad, just to be safe, they... You know, you never know until you test some of these things, but, you know, I already had my cystatin C tested. I knew I didn't have kidney damage, but they did the urine test to test for protein in my urine, and it was just more confirmation my kidneys are fine. And I got the ECG. Again, my heart is fine, so... The creatinine test was fucking stupid. I think they probably should have given me, like, either Lasix or an ARB or something to get rid of the water retention, but, you know, whatever. Thanks for the donation, Goof. Oh, man. I gotta piss, but I don't want to get up because Gummy's sitting on me. You know what? I gotta piss. Oh, my poor Gum Gum. Yeah, I'm sorry, Gum Gum. I gotta get up to pee. Here's my Gum Gum. Look at him. Oh my god, he's so beautiful and brown. Do you see just how beautiful and elegant this kitty is? You know, a lot of people think that brown is just a bland, boring, ugly color, but when you see just this brown on this cat, it's just so elegant, so simple, so pleasant. And he has these beautiful black stripes and these wonderful white accents on his paws and on his face and his tummy. He is just so beautiful. Do you see his white tummy? How beautiful he is? Oh, I love you, Gum Gum. I gotta get up to pee. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna... How much water did you retain? About 20 pounds. I was 220 a few days before, and then I weighed myself. I was 240. It was a retarded amount of water retention. Most of it's gone now. I took a bunch of potassium and drank a fuck ton of water, so it's finally clearing. So most of it's gone now. Yeah, I thought it was the melatonin at first, but it was the black market Cialis.
I decided to deload on squats because of fatigue and minor pains. My current estimated 1 RM is 515. So I'm doing 255 pounds for 3 sets of 8 for 1 to 2 weeks. Am I deloading right? Also, how should I start my working sets when the deload is over?
Well, typically with deloads, you use about 80% of your working weight. And you have the reps and have the sets. And then if you do, like say you're squatting twice a week, then the second session you have it again. So you use about 50% of your working weight. That's typically how people deload. Like you can just take a week off and not do anything, but Yeah, typically the way people deload is you do 80%, have the weight, have the reps, and then you do the same thing with 50% later on in the week. As far as working sets and working weight when the deload's over, it kind of depends on how fast you progress and how long your meso length is, but you typically pull back a little bit. So, you might use like, I don't know, 10 pounds less than you normally, like you used at the end of your last meso. And then by like the third or fourth week, you're using the same weight. And then after like a couple more weeks, you end up making PRs again. Thanks for the donation, though, Killian Titan. Hope that helps.
Me and Gig put all our money on Toshi Coin because it has a blue cat on it. Is that smart, VG?
Probably not. Don't think that's the best way to manage crypto investing. Thanks for the donation, though, Ben Boy.
I was thinking about coming off the deload doing 345 for 3 sets of 10 immediately. Is that too soon? Should I start lower? I never deloaded on squats before. I've always just took long breaks. And it shows.
Again, typically when you do a deload, you're going to pull back by, roughly 10 pounds on a compound lift. It sort of depends. It depends on what your weekly progression is like. Depends on your mesocycle length, stuff like that. But you typically pull back by like roughly 10 pounds. Thanks for the donation, though, Killian Titan. Natty Cope Destroyer donated $2. One of the reasons I hopped on was because as a natty I couldn't stay shredded without suffering low T symptoms, barely progressing. Since hopping on, I'm shredded and progressing. When natty, I just looked flat and felt weak 24/7. Being natty sucks. Well, yeah, it's fucking stupid. I didn't have low testosterone symptoms. I had low estrogen symptoms, and I did have low estrogen. It was below 20 picograms per, I think, milliliter. So I would get like cranky, moody, just act like a fucking asshole. Like joint soreness, stuff like that. I don't think I'm a high aromatizer, so when I get very lean, my estrogen just fucking tanks. But yeah, I mean, we have performance-enhancing drugs. If your main interest is, working out, building muscle, looking good, why the fuck wouldn't you take them? Like, there's not much reason not to. Like, once you figure out you can take these drugs safely and you know how to source them, there's just not really any reason not to. Thanks for the donation, though, Natty Cope Destroyer.
And speaking of Mamdani,
I believe Zoran Mamdani poses a danger to the security of the New York Jewish community. Mamdani's refusal to condemn insightful slogans like globalize the Intifada, his denial of Israel's legitimacy as a Jewish state, his call to arrest Israel's prime minister should he enter New York, and his thrice repeated accusation of genocide in Thursday's debate. For these and so many other statements, past, present, and unrepentant, he is a danger to the Jewish body politic of New York City.
He's 100% correct.
Yeah. That is absolutely correct. And yeah, this guy met up with a literal terrorist. Like the guy's an Islamic jihadist.
Today I'm
Thanks for the donation though, Dodo. Sengoku donated $2. Let me see.
The guy who's doing 2 fucking movements per body part. His chest day is only incline bench and pec deck. His leg day is only leg extensions and hamstring curls. If he goes at those sets like a total fucking freak, he's gonna beat the guy doing 75% his intensity with like a fancy pants. 3 sets of chest, 3 sets of pause rep. The harder you go, the more food you eat, the bigger you'll be able to get.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, and you can see the people who don't train hard, like these science dorks, you know. There's this fucking trend of pencil neck dorks on like Instagram and TikTok. I've seen a few of them on YouTube where they do these weird exercises where they're like, oh, it better activates this muscle and it's like optimizing the stretch portion of the lift. They don't train hard. And it shows. They're all skinny. You'll also see some of the natty gay retard lifters like Natural Hypertrophy. He's made like 0 progress in the last few years. He doesn't train particularly hard either. But dudes like, you know, myself, Alpha Destiny, Jeffrey Verity Schofield, they all train very hard and like they've still made progress. Like I hopped on gear, but like, you know, the other examples, they train really hard and they've still been making progress. Thanks for the donation, Sengoku. Dodo Donatellers, can you name a more sleazy lying politician than Mamdani? No. Like, he's probably a bigger liar and more sleazy than even Trump.
This is Zoran Mamdani. He's running for mayor of New York. Here's what he normally sounds like.
We gather tonight in the wealthiest city, in the wealthiest country, in the history of the world.
But in an interview in South Africa, he sounded a little different.
I actually created a playlist for Mira, who also happens to be my mother. Nepotism and hard work.
Whoa, he fakes his fucking voice.
Goes a long way.
And in an interview with the Turkish-American podcast, Mamdani sounded different again.
I'll be honest with you, Brother Mansoom, is that at this point, not many people are thinking about it.
And here is Zoran.
That is a really good giveaway that somebody is a manipulative liar when they fake their voice. Pirate Software does that, and that guy's a fucking narcissistic, fucking lying, crazy person. That chick, what was her dumb bitch name? That woman who was creating that fake blood test and like scammed people for billions of dollars. What was her fucking name again? The blonde idiot, and she wore turtlenecks all the time. It's on the tip of my tongue. She had that fucking stupid medical company. Help me out here. What was her fucking name? I know Thunderfoot made a video about her. Theranos. Yeah, yeah, Elizabeth Holmes. This chick was also faking her voice. She she made her voice sound deeper than it really was. She had a really high-pitched girly voice, but then when she was doing any kind of public speaking, she deliberately made her voice deeper. So that is a dead giveaway when somebody fakes their voice or accent that they're like a super like untrustworthy, manipulative person.
Ron during his rapper days.
You know, it would have been here earlier, but worldwide tour is a worldwide tour is a worldwide tour.
Wow. That is nuts. I didn't know he was that bad.
Why are you against Mamdani?
First of all, do you know that Mamdani is supporting decriminalization of prostitution?
No, we don't want that.
No, we don't want that. Which is an NYC law that prostitution is not allowed.
Yeah.
And we are against it because every single religion of the world against prostitution creates morality issues. It brings a lot of disease. Do you want that?
No.
No.
That shouldn't be happening at all.
When there is prostitution, there is a human trafficking.
I had no idea.
Muslims love prostitution and human trafficking. If you go to Dubai, there are whorehouses fucking everywhere. Apparently it's the same in Saudi Arabia, only they just aren't as like shameless about it. The Taliban, who's the Hezbollah, Hezbollah especially, a huge portion of their money comes from prostitution and human trafficking.
When there's a human trafficking, there's a drug trafficking. Can you imagine what he's doing?
Honestly, I don't agree with that. What made you want to do this type of thing?
Because he's Muslim and we are Muslim and we are saying you're doing a wrong thing. It's against the law, it's against the faith. And he's defunding the police.
That's what I heard, yeah.
So you're from New York, right?
Yeah.
As you know how much crime is going on.
Yeah.
Imagine if you have less police, do you feel safe at that time?
I don't think so.
Police working very bravely, very tirelessly for our community to keep us safe. No need to give the salary to police. Why? There will be no jail, there will be no police. You just imagine.
I actually love your point because I didn't know that.
We can't give somebody like that power.
Zach, you guys are Muslims too, and you guys don't support him.
He's not Muslim.
Right.
He does not. He's self-proclaimed Hindu. Whenever he goes to a mosque, he says, I'm a Muslim. Whenever he goes to a mandir, Hindu mandir, he says, my mother was Hindu. He is misleading people. Just want to get the vote.
He lies about everything, basically.
Yeah, the guy's a manipulative liar. That's funny, even Muslims call him out for being a fucking piece of shit.
He favors them. We just heard Mr. Sliwa say that. He's against them. Where do you stand on those?
I'm appreciative that those measures will be on the ballot and that New Yorkers will be able to cast their votes for them. I know that we desperately need to build more housing in this city, and I also know that the jobs we create in the building of that housing should be good jobs as well.
What a political answer. What is your opinion, Zoran?
Yes or no?
Come on.
Yes or no?
What is your opinion? Yes or no, Zoran? Don't be a politician here.
I got it. They're pointing out what I was about to, which is the answer to the question.
No, I think on the stage you can see two people appealing for the Republican Party's votes. And myself.
Answer the question. Answer the question for once. My question to you was, do you support the 3 ballot amendment questions?
I have not yet taken a position on those ballot amendment questions.
Oh, what a shocker. All right. What a shocker. Well, don't worry. Once he takes it, he'll change it anyway.
You know, I don't know why people don't just vote for Silwa. You know, I guess he just makes too much fucking sense, and New Yorkers are just fucking dumb. Have you seen or driven a Lucid vehicle? Well, obviously I haven't driven one. I haven't seen one, like anybody driving one in real life, but I've seen them.
I understand my friend doesn't really understand government. The governor doesn't build housing in New York City.
Not if it's you.
No, legally, there are jurisdictions. The governor doesn't pick up trash. He doesn't run the fire department. That's what the mayor does. The mayor builds housing. The state allocates funding for localities. And I allocated more funding for housing than any governor in the history of the state of New York. All right? I did things. You have never had a job. You've never accomplished anything. There's no reason to believe you have any merit or qualification for 8.5 million lives. You don't know how to run a government. You don't know how to handle an emergency. And you've literally never proposed a bill on anything that you're now talking about in your campaign. You had the worst attendance record in the assembly. And you gave yourselves the highest raise in the United States of America. You went from $110,000 to $140,000, and then you never showed up for work, and you missed 80% of the votes. Shame on you.
Get fucked. Literally anybody is better than Mamdani. It's just crazy to me that anybody would vote for that fucking loser. Yeah, there was a guy in my neighborhood who actually had a Cybertruck. I'd see him at the grocery store and at the local gas station, and I think he sold it because I haven't seen him in the last, like, 6 months or something. Maybe even longer. Those Cybertrucks are absolute pieces of shit, dude. Like, just garbage cars. I think the only people who are keeping them, they're barely driving them. I think if you actually drive your car, those things just break down. Because I've seen so many people have issues with the steer-by-wire system and crap. And the motors go bad. Like, they're just terrible.
New York is screwed. Glad I left there when I did.
Yeah, New York's fucked. I don't think it's, like, especially considering how shitty New York is just in general now, I don't know why you'd want to spend, like, $5,000 a month for rent for, like, a shitty one-bedroom apartment. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Add on to your point, you're completely right. Most people who lift don't train hard. That's why trends like this go viral on social media. Claim social media has ruined physique standards.
Lifting weights 6 times per week for 5 years. Either that guy, well, is he like 14 years old? I don't know how old this guy is. He looks very young. Like, if he started training at 12, it's a bit of a different story. Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, if this kid is like 16 or 17 and he started lifting weights when he was like, 11 or 12, I can kind of understand how, like, okay, realistically speaking, you're only really gonna get big benefits from weight training by the time you're in your, like, mid-teens. So, like, maybe you could say 2-3 years. I don't know, like, looks like he did a bodybuilding show here. Like, he's small. Like, I don't think anybody would say he looks bad, but he's just, like, small. Like, he literally doesn't even look like he lifts here. I swear I had more muscle mass before I even started training. He literally doesn't even look like he lifts. It's kind of hard to believe that somebody would look like that training hard 6 days a week for 5 years. Either you have the worst genetics imaginable, or, yeah, you're just not training hard. Thanks for the donation, though, Son Goku.
Elizabeth Holmes sounds like a sister of Sherlock Holmes.
Kind of. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
What are Frank Tufano's views on Trump?
I don't know if he's ever talked about it specifically. If I had to guess, he probably thinks Trump is like an Illuminati shill. Because, you know, he's a crazy conspiracy theorist. Thanks for the donation, Blackberry.
Frank uploaded a new vid.
Yeah, I saw. We'll look at Frank. Thanks for the donation, Hames Wade. Oh, hey, Gum Gum. Hey, you want to jump up? Come cuddle. Look at my beautiful kitty. Yeah, you're beautiful. You're beautiful and I love you. Oh. He is so beautiful. You are just so handsome. Yeah. Oh, that's my handsome boy. You're such a good kitty. Yeah, you're so good. Oh my goodness. You are so good. What a good baby. You are so good. Oh, what a sweetie pie. Oh my goodness, you're a sweetie. Oh, I love you so much. Yeah, I love you. Oh my goodness, I love you. Natty Cope Destroyer donated 214. I only use test and run doses between 200 and 400 milligrams depending on cut bulk. I'm also on Nebivolol ARB plus antioxidants. Blood pressure and blood work look splendid. Low moderate doses are the way to go. My sex, dating, social life improved tenfold. Test is the elixir of life. I don't think I can find Nebivolol black market. Let me see. I don't know if I recommend that for most people. I've seen people get really weird side effects from it. Yeah, ARB if you need it, and antioxidants are a good idea, especially vitamin C. But yeah, I mean, once you're on it, you just feel like it's different from like other drugs. Like if you smoke weed or something, you know, you might get high and you might kind of enjoy yourself, but you don't really want to constantly be high. And it gets exhausting, and you know, it feels like a sometimes kind of thing. But when you're on test, it's like, this is how I'm supposed to feel. You know, you just feel like better. But thanks for the donation, Natty Cope Destroyer.
Agayaziminijad Zander, Darin Barnam K. Barman Asbat Ruz Modder, the Agoy Teoro Imanis Dar Golip Karnande, Darij Rahosio Dashtand. Inasar Takdim Shod Bar Madaran Aziz K. Dunia, Bargar Moy Hosershan Jabak Pitari Baizist and Shod.
Well, I don't speak Spanish, but thanks for the donation, Mandalam, Mario Macad. Todd is on Tessit Bold Known in Men. Yeah, I saw the video he made. He's been experimenting with some more exotic compounds, and I think it's just because he has trouble growing, and you know, it's like, I wouldn't bother personally, but I'm also not in his position where I'm having trouble growing. I definitely understand the itch to like try everything, because like there's so many steroids, and it's just kind of interesting seeing what they do to your body and stuff, and just experimenting with how it affects your blood work and shit. Like, it is fun.
Iron Clee Sherlock already has a teenage sister who even has her own book series.
Huh, I did not know that. They're probably not very good. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. Can steroids stunt growth in teenagers? That's what I read. Well, if you're taking compounds that aromatize or increase estrogen sensitivity, then yeah, they can cause early fusion of growth plates. So if you're on testosterone, that can definitely stunt growth. If you're taking nandrolone, pretty much any 19-nor, like compounds like ment, so anything that aromatizes or increases your body's sensitivity to estrogen can cause early fusion of growth plates and stunt your growth. Anavar was actually used for treatment of stunted growth in children. Let me see if I can find it. Oxandrolone in constitutionally delayed growth, longitudinal study up to final height. 27 prepubertal boys. When was this? So this was back in 1989. This was kind of before growth hormone became widely available. They used to extract growth hormone from like cadavers, pituitary glands of cadavers, and then what ended up happening was people ended up getting mad cow disease from it. So the FDA banned it, and then in the 1980s they were able to synthesize growth hormone. And before it became widely available, they used to use oxandrolone, Anavar, for stunted growth in children. So 27 prepubertal boys, 9 prepubertal girls, constitutionally delayed growth, were treated with the anabolic steroid oxandrolone for 12 months, followed until they reached final height. 16 boys were treated with a mean dose of 0.12 milligrams per kilogram. 11 boys, the mean dose of 0.22 milligrams per kilogram. Then 13 boys, 9 girls served as controls. On oxandrolone, the mean height velocity increased from 4.0 to 8.6. Boys from 4.3 to 8.9. From 4.3 to 8.3 centimeters per year. Girls. The immediate post-treatment height velocity was significantly higher than the pre-treatment height velocity, regardless of whether the patients had entered puberty. On oxandrolone, the mean ratios of change in bone age change in chronological age were 2.0 and 2.0 year over year girls, and continued to be accelerated during the 6 months after treatment. I don't know how Anavar actually works to treat stunted growth in children. But yeah, Anavar was actually used to treat stunted growth. Now they use growth hormone. They used to use genotropin, so Pfizer genotropin, or I think they might have also used, what is it? It's growth hormone anyway. Now they actually developed Ngenla, and Ngenla is really weird. It is growth hormone, but it's given at a higher dose, and it has a HCG backbone on it, so it has like a delayed release, and it increases your body's growth hormone. Like, it increases serum growth hormone way more than just normal growth hormone, but it's not as bioavailable, but it seems to be better at increasing height in children. So certain steroids like Anavar don't seem to actually affect height in children. And in fact, it might increase height. There was that kid, Richard Sandrak, Little Hercules. His dad was giving him Anavar, and he seems to have grown normally. But I don't know exactly the mechanism of how it increases growth velocity in children. So there's certain steroids that will stunt growth, but there's certain ones that won't. Like Anavar is a 5-alpha reduced steroid, so it doesn't aromatize.
Do you think Frank is one of those conspiracy theorists who thinks that Hitler was actually a good guy, and the Holocaust didn't happen? Since he is always talking about Jewish secret societies that rule the world.
Yeah, probably. In all likelihood, yeah. I don't think he's comfortable talking about it publicly because he knows, that's a big no-no. But in all likelihood, yeah. Thanks for the donation, Blackberry. Was your apartment the enclosed hallways or open? If enclosed, do you have issues with hallway sound or smell from people's cooking? I don't know what you mean by that. Enclosed hallway or open. Like a hallway is a hallway. Did you hear about the Glock news? You mean Glocks being banned in California for absolutely no fucking reason? Of all handguns to ban, given California's, I'm assuming it has something to do with the switches, because people can very easily convert them to automatic. But it's kind of weird that they singled out Glocks, because I've seen some of the arguments made by, can't remember, there's somebody from the California government. They're not particularly modular, and the arguments they were making to ban certain handguns had to do with modularity. So it's a little weird that they'd single out Glocks, but yeah, I'm assuming it would have to do with the switches. But you can convert practically any firearm into full auto. So what's the point? Dodo $22. I will say Silva's position on AI is brain dead. He is against AI and self-driving cars to protect jobs. I mean, it's not an unsensible position, because there is going to be a really hard, stupid transition period. So it's not entirely unsensible. But it's going to happen. So thanks for the donation though, Dodo. Trend Prolapse donated 214. I find it funny most natties, natural hypertrophy, etc. look up to fake natty physiques and later on develop body dysmorphia when they realize they'll never look like their idols. Why does society look down on someone responsibly using PDs to achieve their physique goals? Well, it's because they're losers. Steroids are the most glamorized drug, but there's fear-mongering around it like crazy. There's terms like, it's like something on steroids. Like when something is better, they compare it to, being on steroids. So like a Ferrari is like a car on steroids. There's a lot of superheroes. like Captain America is probably the best example where like it's literally steroids. Captain America, like the super soldier serum, it's literally steroids. Same with Black Cat. She got the she had the enhanced version of the Captain America super soldier serum. So there's a few superheroes who literally took steroids. And again, all of these Hollywood physiques that people look up to, like, you know, Wolverine, Thor, you know, Chris Hemsworth, like they're all on steroids, you know, The Rock, obviously. So everyone wants to look like them. Everyone wants to look like, you know, comic book heroes or video game characters. Like I want to look like Kazuya from Tekken 8. That's why I got the Kazuya background on my desktop right now. Just to keep my eye set on the prize. Yeah, Bane, literally on steroids. So everyone wants to be on steroids. It's just these people are fucking pussies, and it's like they've just been manipulated, you know, by the media. Oh, they're dangerous. Oh, it's cheating. You know, the U.S. government did all this like weird psyop bullshit to convince the public that steroids should be banned, so that they could control the Olympic Games. So, you know, the people who are smarter and like know how to get ahead and win, like they just take steroids. But, you know, these fucking losers like natural hypertrophy, they end up just getting, you know, emotionally manipulated by all this propaganda that, oh, it's cheating, it's immoral, it's dangerous, it's bad for you, and then, you know, they just stay small. Thanks for the donation, though, Trend Prolapse. Dodo, donate $2. The things women believe always gets dumber, huh?
Okay, there we go. Eyes closed for me. Closed, keep them closed. Put your finger between your teeth.
Yeah, that's...
I visited...
I don't know how the fuck anybody... It's got to be a form of hypnosis.
A real-life dollhouse neighborhood in Chengdu, China. An elevator takes you into a toy-like world of over 1,000 units. The open design floods every apartment with sunlight and fresh air, making it feel like something out of a dream. I visited a real-life...
Looks like a shithole.
Jeffrey has so much fun. Video games, snackies, drugs, porn. With all this pleasure, work feels just too boring. Meanwhile, Jessica can't stay focused.
These are just terrible. Watch full.
Trump is now, once again, after that call, coming to Putin's defense, telling Zelensky in a meeting that reportedly turned into a shouting match that Putin would destroy his country if he didn't agree to ending the war on Putin's terms. Even tossing aside maps like this one showing the front lines of the war, saying enough of that. Now, this is according to the new explosive reporting from the Financial Times' Max Seddon, a regular here on the show who will be out front in just a moment. But in Moscow tonight, it's a celebration of Trump's once again backing Putin. And it doesn't get more direct than this. I mean, just listen to this clip from Russian state TV that was uncovered by journalist Julia Davis.
Putin understands Trump all too well. Trump doesn't understand Putin. Putin can manipulate him very well and lead Trump by his nose.
Well, Russian state TV...
When you have them publicly saying this, like, does Trump not get fucking embarrassed? He has, like, Trump has to have, or Putin has to have some kind of dirt on Trump. Like, I still think it's highly plausible that Trump's a Russian agent.
Has some grounding in this. I mean, 27 days ago, Trump posted this I'll read it. I think Ukraine, with the support of the European Union, is in a position to fight and win. Win is the word Trump put in all caps. All of Ukraine back in its original form. Well, that shocked the world because it was an about face. But I mean, all of Ukraine, its original form, that's Donbass, that's Luhansk, that's Crimea, it's all of it. And headlines blared, calling it a sudden and major shift. But now, once again, the 180 of Trump saying he didn't say what he said. Because when he was asked today about that exact post saying win all of Ukraine back, here's what he said.
Well, they could. They could still win it. I don't think they will, but they could still win it. I never said they would win it.
Well, of course he did. He did. He posted that.
Trump is just deranged. Yeah. Oh, fuck. Oh, it's okay, Gum Gum. I just sneezed. It's okay. Oh, jeez. I had a therapist who had nothing but positive reviews from middle-aged women. He sat me down, and it felt like a voodoo ritual. I was holding a buzzer machine, supposed to be CBT, lol. Yeah, it sounds about right.
That 27 days ago. And Russian state television is posting that clip today with the headline, "Does Trump still think Ukraine can win?" And Trump tonight taking it even further, echoing a specific lie of Putin's about not targeting civilians.
We strike with high-precision weapons at locations where they make decisions, where military personnel and mercenaries gather, and other...
There's literally video footage of them shooting a missile into a children's hospital.
Other similar centers.
Did you discuss his ongoing attacks on civilian areas in Ukraine?
Yeah.
Did you say cut it out? Did you say show an article of good faith to me?
I did. But as you know, most of the people dying are soldiers.
That's not even true.
Which is an incredible thing to say because Trump knows what the world knows, which is Putin hit city centers and civilians as a core part of his war. I've seen it myself in cities. I've seen it in Kyiv. You've seen burning apartment buildings and hair salons and things where people live. I've seen it in small towns in Ukraine. Those precision missiles aim very precisely at civilian areas. And according to the UN, 14,000 Ukrainian civilians have been killed since Putin invaded Ukraine. And tonight, Trump's decision to side with Putin is having major consequences. Senate Majority Leader John Thune backing off a crucial vote, a vote to finally hit Russia with punishing new sanctions that Trump ally Senator Lindsey Graham says could be the, quote, sledgehammer Trump needs to end the war. But now they're backing off that yet again. Also, as if right on cue, the United States is also stalling plans to expand the use of frozen Russian money, right? Money that's in accounts around the world, to unfreeze that money and give it to support Ukraine. That's according to Bloomberg's latest reporting. And Kristen Holmes is out front live outside the White House, where, Kristen, I know you're talking to your sources. It is incredible, the 180 pendulum on this and how consistent it is that you can say when Trump says one thing, you know he most likely will say the opposite within days. Why is he backing away from what he said now?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think that there's a couple of things going on that we need to watch pretty carefully. And I'm sorry, I'm going to take my earpiece out here because I can hear myself in it. We know that President Trump, when he believes that there is a deal on the precipice, that he ends up backing away from any kind of punishment for Russia or for Putin. We've seen this time and time again. The fact that he'll say there's sanctions, he'll say he's frustrated, then he has a conversation with Putin, and the next thing you know, they're putting everything on the table, they're tabling everything, essentially to try and get a deal. But of course, the question remains, when does that stop? Because
I think the guy's literally just a Russian agent. None of this makes any fucking sense. Silent Hill F tonight, yes or no? Answer, I don't think tonight, Dodo. I'm really sick and I don't think I have the energy to play games. I almost fucking killed myself bringing down the fucking belt squat machine. You can see the boxes and shit in the background there. The one piece the one piece for that belt squat, that has to weigh at least 200 pounds, and it's super fucking awkward to lift. I almost fell down the stairs bringing it down. That was fucking hard. And yeah, I've got a fever too, so I'm probably just going to take it easy. Thanks for the donation though, Dodo.
BTW, whose idea was it to give Sherlock a teenage sister?
I don't know, probably some dumb woman. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. Did you see Sarah Safari on Bradley Martin's podcast trying to address that Kenny KO video? No. He's promoting, like, he's literally uploading Nazi propaganda content. I don't know, like, what did she have to say about that? Natty Cope Destroyer donated 214. Pretty much being on test feels like how a man should feel 24/7 with time as more data on safety of TRT comes out. More and more people will be enhanced. High-dose TRT will be standard in a few decades. Natty purists are retarded and low IQ. At least in Canada, I can see steroids end up kind of becoming sort of more accessible. We're pretty, like, if you want to be a drug addict, Canada is one of the best countries to live in. Like, we legalized marijuana and extracts a few years ago, like fully legalized. It looks like the next psychedelic drug to be legalized is probably going to be mushrooms. There's dispensaries all over the place. Right in Ottawa, the nation's capital, like minutes away from Parliament, you can walk into mushroom dispensaries and buy mushrooms. And even though they're technically illegal, under the law, no one fucking cares. You can just buy mushrooms in Canada. They basically have the same legal status as marijuana. Before it was actually legalized, there were dispensaries all over the place. And now there's mushroom dispensaries all over the place, and cops just aren't cracking down on it. So they're probably gonna end up being legalized soon. And like, the amount of teenage kids that are on fucking steroids now is just crazy. So, like, if enough people are doing these drugs, like, at least in Canada, they just end up being legalized. So there's probably going to be enough people on steroids where they end up just, throwing their hands up in the air and being like, okay, well, you can just buy them now. So I see that definitely happening in the future, where you can probably end up buying at least testosterone without a prescription. Hopefully, anyway. But yeah, I mean, what is the point anymore? The benefits are just so blatantly obvious, and there's more and more human research coming out that, testosterone replacement therapy, quote unquote, it's just good for you. And most men probably should be on it. Like, and I mean, by most, I mean like 99% of men should be on testosterone replacement of some kind. But thanks for the donation, Natty Cope Destroyer. I cruise on 500 milligrams, donated 214. Big reason PDs are so hated on is because it makes natties jealous. They see someone with their dream physique and they cope with common tropes like, at least I won't die at 40. Notice all the steroid fear-mongering is from natties on the FAO. Well, most steroid users do not die at 40. What's interesting is before the whole Olympic controversy with Ben Johnson, there's actually a lot of research showing that men with higher testosterone live longer, One of the first studies to come out that showed that was the Framingham experiment, where men who had testosterone around 1,000, they lived, I think, they had a 4 times lower risk of all-cause mortality compared to men with low testosterone, which I think they defined as like 300 to 400. So not only is there that, but there was also a lot of research showing that testosterone is one of the most well-tolerated drugs, and there doesn't seem to be a upper dose where you don't find benefits. So they've experimented with doses up to 600 milligrams per week, and there was a linear dose response where the higher the dose of test, the better men felt. Like more energy, more sex drive, better feelings of well-being, less anxiety, less depression. But then, yeah, after that whole controversy at the Olympics with Ben Johnson, there was that whole campaign to like demonize steroids and they're evil and they're cheating and all this shit. Thanks for the donation, though. I cruise on 500 milligrams. Natty Cope Destroyer donated 214. I fell for the fear-mongering until I realized a lot of PED users live well into old age, so it's not as simple as roids will age and kill you. Most of that is spewed by uneducated natties. Dose and PD type mixed poison, as told by Vigorous Steve. Yep. And I mean, like, look at dudes like Robbie Robinson, who's in his 80s now. Like, there's so many examples of dudes in their 70s, 80s who look young for their age. And not only that, like, they're in incredible physical condition. Like, when I was a kid, you know, when somebody was 70, like, they were fucking broken down, couldn't really exercise, you know, just, they looked old. But now, you know, you have dudes who are on PEDs who take good care of themselves, and they have like a physical condition that you'd see in somebody in their 20s who's like, you know, a professional athlete. So it's like, it's insane how more people aren't taking advantage of those sorts of drugs. Like, we're literally at a time period where at any age you can just get in insane shape from using these drugs and, you know, having a healthy lifestyle. What was that dude's name? There was some doctor who was taking testosterone and growth hormone, and he showed his physique transformation. Dr. Longevity or something, or 80-year-old Dr. Growth hormone or something. Oh yeah, this guy.
Sun City, an active new way of life.
5 years. You may have seen my pictures in national publications and wondered.
Like, this guy's 74. I like, from changing his diet and exercising and taking steroids, namely testosterone and growth hormone, like, this guy transformed his body to what you'd expect somebody like in their 30s who like works out to look like. And he's in his mid 70s.
If they're real.
Like, it's just fucking stupid not to take these drugs. Like, just out of this world fucking dumb. So there's no evidence that if you use these drugs properly that you're going to like accelerate aging. If anything, they slow down aging. Like, you can see how this guy fucking looks. Like, So yeah, like at a flick of a switch, you can just, even when you're in your mid-70s, you can just decide to get jacked. Thanks for the donation, though, Natty Cope Destroyer.
But people have died from taking steroids, VG.
Yes, people have died from a lot of things, though, Dodo. Thanks for the donation.
I blame these anti-vaxxers for speeding all this sickness around the world, VG, such as the fever you have.
I don't know if an anti-vaxxer gave me this. There's been a bad virus that's been going around. My mom also got it. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo. Justin donated $2.14.
Okay, I guess I'm Mike's friend. He's not here. So, Dr. Mike, first of all, I hope that you're being like tongue-in-cheek, kind of humorous. Otherwise, I fear either for your eyesight or your mental health. Because obviously, your physique's nowhere near Mike Mensa, even with all the PEDs that you're taking, that you estimate will take 10 years off your life. Well, maybe you need to ask yourself whether it's worth it, mate, because a bag of shit that gets bigger is just a bigger bag of shit. Still a bag of shit. You know what I mean, mate? Oh.
Is that AI? Or...
Oh.
Did he actually upload that? Because that kind of seems like AI. Dorian Yates is kind of outspoken, but is this real? 1.9 million. Yeah.
Okay.
Huh. He actually called Dr. Mike a bag of shit. That's kind of based. Thanks for the donation, Justin.
People should learn how to train and eat first, to get more out of less dosage-wise. Plenty of people on gear where I'm at that still look natural.
Well, yeah. That is true. Like, the reality is, though, like, most people aren't going to respond to steroids the way, like, I would or any of these pro bodybuilders would. But, yeah, it does make a difference knowing how to train and eat properly. Thanks for the donation, Yoshi. Dodo donated $2.
In the entire world, I would say a good plate of biryani. So this year, let me share with you an easier version of traditional biryani, one that my family makes on a weekly basis. This one-pot lion's mane mushroom biryani tastes exactly like the chicken biryani my mom and I used to cook together just before we went vegan. It's packed with flavor, fresh spices, and made with versatile ingredients. This is my comfort food every Deepavali, so let me show you how to make it. First, marinate your lion's mane mushrooms after air frying them so they retain the firm texture instead of becoming too soft. Then chop your onions and tomatoes to a pressure cooker or a pot, add whole spices, cumin, fennel seeds, then add in your onions first and saute them until translucent. Then add in your ginger garlic paste, after which you can add the green chilies, tomatoes, ground spices, and fry them until the oil separates. Add in your washed and soaked rice into the cooker, add a splash of lime, salt, and pressure cook for about 20 minutes on low. While that's cooking, make a super quick
It looks gross.
carrot cucumber raita with dairy-free yogurt, shredded carrot, cucumber, green chilies, coriander, salt, and mix well. Mix in mint and coriander leaves into the biryani once cooked.
That looks good.
And serve with chopped herbs and a banana leaf with a side of raita. Enjoy and follow for more plant.
Yeah, that looks good. What would you do if someone did this to your son, Gummy, and if Gummy were autistic?
Mate, he's 14. He's 14. Get the fuck away from me, he's a child. He's 14. Sit down and calm down. He's 14. He's 14. Stop. Matter of business. He's 14. He's 14. He's a child. You've just assaulted a child. You've just assaulted a child.
He swore at me.
You sit down, stand down.
That's an assault.
You sit down.
Get off the bike.
Sure, if you're aware.
No, don't shout at me. Okay, stop shouting. He's 14. I don't care. He's 14. He's just been assaulted. Please stop talking to me. Stop talking to me.
Don't talk to him now.
Sit down. Sit down.
Stop swearing.
Stop shouting.
No, just go.
Stop shouting at him.
You know, bicyclists are the most, like, whiny, uptight fucking Karens I've ever fucking seen. I don't know what it is about them, but Yeah.
Sometimes it really is the one.
Ty Lopez did a Ponzi scheme, allegedly. Okay, we can maybe look at that. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. Sir William Danishmeyer donated, when they recalled the Samsung Note, they offered $1,200 per phone, and you could include 3 cases for $25 per case. So I bought 14 local notes and returned them, and Samsung went me checks and even sent me fireproof boxes with free shipping. That's cool. Thanks for the donation, dude. Son Goku donated, is Berserk the only manga you've read, and if not, is it the best series in your opinion? I've read Berserk, Akira, Gantz, and Chainsaw Man. I got to get caught up with Chainsaw Man. I would say Berserk is the best manga I've read. I can understand how some people would prefer something like Gantz or Chainsaw Man, like they are different types of stories. But they're also extremely good. Like, Chainsaw Man is fucking incredible. Gantz is fucking incredible. Akira's incredible. But Berserk just deals more with the human condition than the other ones. Thanks for the donation, though, Son Goku. Sego donated $2. React first at 4:14, then skip to 3:04.
So...
we've already watched this.
I'm smart enough and professional enough to not incriminate myself. But on that actual restraining order, which I don't have in front of me, he actually wrote that he wants the judge to take down my YouTube channel and prevent me from speaking on social media. Sent to me. So someone, I think that might have been a setup. Someone probably wanted me to dox him, and they sent me that email, and I kind of fell for it. But all that was granted in the restraining order was that I cannot post personal information about Dr. Taban.
What a fucking dumbass. Like, he's just room temperature IQ, literally. Thanks for the donation, Sego.
Any new info on the Tate brothers?
No, not that I know of. I don't know what the fuck is going on with their whole court trial thing. It's really weird. Thanks for the donation, James. Trend Prolapse donated $2. Part of me doesn't mind that steroids are demonized. I'm on tests and look awesome, huge while being shredded. There's less of us enhanced dudes walking around, so we stand out. At water parks, I literally get stared at by everyone. 6'2", 210, 9% body fat. Yeah, I mean, that is the benefit, that you stand out more. And you're just better than everybody else. So if everyone wants to be a pussy-ass loser, then only benefits you. Thanks for the donation, Trend Prolapse. 21st on $8. Read the first comment. Also, holy shit, look how many followers she has.
Guys, we're down here at Frankie's Strange Meat. I've been having a hard time getting out of bed lately, so...
Wait, let's watch his...
The reason I'm comfortable openly calling Dr. Tabana Butcher is because he is an objectively unskilled surgeon, as he messed up all 4 procedures on my face. I'm going to explain to you all the asymmetries of these procedures. Before I had this done, I had no problems with my eyes. They were relatively symmetrical, and I was happy with the appearance. So, the first thing...
Then why did you get the surgery, you stupid fuck?
That we have been able to fix is the orbital decompression, the sunken eye appearance, which has also caused the cross eyes. Because of that, the other aesthetic procedures, which are arguably easier to fix, have not even been addressed yet. So the first thing that you'll notice is the asymmetry between the upper and lower eyelids. And it's extreme because of the way he did it. So you can see the upper eyelid on the left is lower than the one on the right. So he did the upper eyelid ptosis procedure asymmetrically. Then on the
They look about the same.
lower lid, you could see that this eyelid goes like up like that, and that one kind of goes out a little bit. So he did the...
They look the same. It's weird that he's showing a photo when he's like literally on camera. Like his eyes look roughly symmetrical. It's just that he's cross-eyed.
lower lid asymmetrically as well. So upper eyelids done asymmetrically, that was one procedure done wrong. Lower eyelids done asymmetrically, that was another procedure done wrong. We said the orbital decompression causing the cross eyes and sunken eye appearance, that's the third procedure done wrong. And because of the lighting, it's not as obvious in this photo, but you can kind of see it here on camera. This implant was placed lower than this implant. So you can kind of see how the eye bags under each of my eyes are asymmetrical. This eye bag here on my right eye is getting kind of pushed out because the implant is here, but on my left eye the implant is lower. So it makes my under eye area look asymmetrical, which was fixed with filler from Dr. Yang, but the filler has kind of subsided. So I would have to go and get that redone, but it's really upsetting. You know, I went to what I thought was the best eye surgeon, and he didn't do one procedure correctly. He did not perform one procedure correctly, and the reason I look so horrific and the reason I'm so botched is because all 4 procedures were done wrong. Like you guys are telling me, like, it was his idea to do all 4 procedures in the first place.
It's not true. He is the one who asked for these procedures.
And you're telling me the reason I was botched was because I got 4 procedures at once? No. The reason I was botched was because he messed up every single one of the 4 procedures. And if he had done even half of them correctly, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
It's just insane how he lies about everything so much.
Lol, not my fault you showed that smoking hot barely legal 18-year-old vegan Chinese girl on stream. Did our deflower how you think? I was just asking you to read the first comment of that, you would have found it funny. And she has 670k Instagram followers.
Don't care, thanks for the donation, dude.
Did you hear they are rebooting Anaconda, that creature feature Jaws knockoff from the late 90s VG? My god, Hollywood is running out of ideas. Also, why does Jack Black agree to do these shit movies first? Minecraft now.
And 5, 4, 3, 2. You don't say the last. It's okay. Anaconda. I don't want to wait, man.
Doug, what are you talking about?
Let's do it. Let's reboot Anaconda.
Yes.
Right up next to the we die.
Dude, what if we use Doug as bait to get back to the boat?
That's a really smart idea.
Jeez. It's just fucking trash. Oh, it's Sony Pictures. I mean, it's Sony. But yeah, that's just trash. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Oh my god. All of these looks maxing influencers are pure scumbag industry plants. This guy, K-Shami, knew that doctor completely butchered my face. I would be surprised if he actually had a legitimate consultation with him. The sole purpose of this post was to test the waters about how much people knew about Dr. Taban in an attempt to promote the doctor. K-Shami's low-level Illuminati person, Dr. Taban's Illuminati. Point is, they're in a club that doesn't care about you. Their only goal is to make money off of you. But after doing that post, he realized that botchedbytaban.com has had more of an impact that Dr. Taban would like to believe. So don't listen to anything these looks maxing.
Trank Tufano donate 214. This MD adamantly claims testosterone shortens lifespan. It does not.
So men.
So again, when you look at natural testosterone levels in men, men with the highest testosterone live the longest. So this is being confirmed by 3 large prospective cohorts. One of the first ones was the Framingham experiment. Men with testosterone around 1,000 to 1,200, they live by far longer than men with low testosterone around 300 or 400. They have like way lower risk of all-cause mortality. And secondly, there's large prospective cohorts with testosterone replacement therapy. Men on testosterone replacement, they have lower risk of all-cause mortality compared to like age and whatchamacall, men not receiving testosterone replacement therapy. So at least in the context of androgen deficiency, testosterone extends life expectancy, and men with higher testosterone live longer. There's also, like, I know the performance enhancement realm is kind of unexplored, and nobody really knows about super physiological doses, but there's no reason in particular to suspect that if your testosterone is like in the 2,000 or 3,000 range, you have a higher risk of dying as long as you can manage side effects like blood pressure, hematocrit, shit like that.
Want to live longer? Maybe you should cut off your balls. Have I got your attention? Good. Because in this video, I'm going to build a picture of testosterone.
Okay, we'll react to that. He probably says just stupid nonsense. Thanks for the donation, dude. So Goku don't need to learn. I'm reading Dragon Ball Super, but I have an extensive reading list. I've picked up manga, collecting as a hobby. The anime Dragon Ball Super was fucking terrible. I could not watch it. Just unwatchable trash. I don't know about the manga, but the anime was just horrendous.
Actually okay to be fat, then why is it so offensive to call somebody fat? People know that it's not good to be fat. People also know that they could be doing something about it. That's why people take so much offense to being called fat. The reality is, it's easier to be overweight and fat than it is to be in shape and fit. When you are fat and overweight, the biggest concern is your internal health. You're going to be battling with high cholesterol, possible diabetes, heart condition, and these are some serious matters in our society of overweight and obese people. However, getting yourself in shape and going to the gym is going to solve over 90% of your problems. Instead of having friends, family, colleagues feel like they need to censor themselves to your emotions. This all comes down to yourself. If you want the change that you're looking for, you need to make the change.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Thanks for the donation, Son Goku.
I asked you a question, you disrespectful bitch ass
I don't fucking care. Shut up. Thanks for the donation. My god. I think I took too much potassium.
The CGI on that snake looks like it belongs in a made-for-television movie on Sci-Fi. How did this get released in theaters? My only reaction to this film is...
Huh. Those are really weird snakes. Yeah, anacondas are weird. It's Sony Pictures, dude. Thanks for the donation though, Dodo. Skip to 12:57. Watch 30-minute clip. I think he meant 30 seconds.
A lot of scenarios where these people aren't really botched and they didn't need the surgery in the first place. And those people are way better off than me. And they're overreacting about it. Like, there's a ton of plastic surgery and procedures where the person doesn't really look that much different after the surgery, and they have some pet peeve about what happened to their face, and it's really just complete utter nonsense. And it really holds no merit, and that does happen a lot. But people like me who are clearly botched and have severe medical issues and whose lives are basically ruined are very few and far between, and I'm curious how many other severe cases like mine he had.
The only thing that I can really say is, like, you can see the implants, like, that looks fucking stupid. And the cross-eyed thing. But, like, everything else he's complaining about is just fucking stupid. How stupid is he? If I had to guess, he probably has a borderline, like, mentally retarded IQ. Remember what you just said about his eyelid? Should make a whole composition video once and for all and end him guaranteed views.
So if you guys have...
why you link me that again? I'm not going to bother. It's not really worth my time. Thanks for the donation, Sego.
Testosterone that's different than anything you've ever heard. For that reason, it's going to be pretty controversial. As always, I'm saying upfront that part of what I'm doing, panacea for health and longevity, has infiltrated mainstream media in recent years. The prevailing notion seems to be that an extra boost can levels jacked up to the maximum. They just want it on the high side of normal. And of course, there's an ever-growing number of men's clinics or online services that'll do that for you. But why the hesitation? Why not jack up your levels as high as they'll go? Why stop at just high normal? Because deep inside, we all know that the story of testosterone can't be that simple, which is why almost no one other than bodybuilders wants to increase their levels way above normal. But is there...
This has been explored in research. There's a linear dose response with higher doses of testosterone and better feelings of wellness. Now, you could argue that may come with side effects, like, okay, maybe you have higher risk of heart disease and stuff like that, but that may be tolerable to somebody if their quality of life improves so much.
Any support for that perception of danger? The reality is that men don't live as long as women. Men die a lot because we are all part of a brilliant plot device by evolution to maximize adaptation and fitness in a changing world.
The only reason women live longer is because men are more likely to engage in dangerous lifestyle habits. So, like, only men really fight in war. In the Soviet Union, in World War II, there were women who fought in the front lines. There was a lot of female snipers. I know there was at least one female tank commander. That kind of happens, but you can look at the proportion of male to female deaths, in World War II. It's totally skewed. The amount of men that died in Russia in World War II, there was such a massive amount of male deaths. It has literally permanently fucked their demographics, where there is not enough men in their society to basically recover their population. Men also are doing more dangerous and more stressful jobs. So they work in fucking coal mines. They work on oil rigs. Men also just work harder and longer. They have more pressure to make money. And oftentimes, like, women just don't do fucking jack shit, and they fucking make up some stupid excuses like, I'm taking care of the family and children. You need to fucking be the breadwinner. And then men work even longer hours and harder and fucking stress themselves out. They're also more prone to drug and alcohol abuse. They do, like, more driving, and part of that is probably because they work more, so they have to drive more to work. But, like, men do more highway driving. They also drive faster. They're more likely to get into high-speed accidents. So all of these things are why men live shorter. When you look at societies where there isn't that kind of weird discrepancy in lifestyle, men and women live literally as long. So you can look at countries like Costa Rica. So if you look at any country where men aren't engaged in like war fairly frequently. So like the United States has a big war like every 5 to 10 years, you know, shit like that. So if you look at countries where lifestyles are similar, drug use is similar, and there aren't any large wars or conflicts, men and women live about as long as each other.
Of course, we all know that young men die a lot from doing risky things, and we have a vague sense that older men must die more because the average life expectancy of women is higher. But did you know that male infants and children also have a higher death rate? Even male newborns die more because of a higher mutation rate. So you can't just compare male death rates to female death rates and blame it all on testosterone, because men die more for complex evolutionary reasons, and testosterone is only one part of that. So how could you figure out what role testosterone plays? Well, one way you could start to test that would be to give a whole bunch of men high doses of testosterone or similar compounds and see how they do. Of course, bodybuilders have been running that experiment for us for decades now, prioritizing maximum muscularity at all costs. And in fact, those who use anabolic steroids do in fact have shorter life expectancies, 52 years versus 81 years for bodybuilders in the pre-anabolic era. However,
okay, that study is just stupid. So when you're gonna fucking say, oh, steroids are so dangerous, but you're looking at a population of people who are taking extremely high doses of these drugs, they're also taking exotic compounds, including orals, and they're not getting blood work and managing their blood pressure and hematocrit and all this other shit. Like, yeah, no fucking shit, they're gonna have a shorter life expectancy.
There are multiple confounding factors, as shown here, which cannot be accounted for by that analysis. So what about the other direction? What if we found out that even normal levels of testosterone led to a shorter life expectancy? What if you went full Nazi?
They don't.
And took a bunch of young men and cut off their balls before puberty, so they had the same testosterone levels as postmenopausal women throughout their lives. Would they live longer? Well, in fact,
oh, fuck.
They did, based on the known finding that castrating male
Okay, so this is just based on case reports.
Animals of many species increases the animal's longevity. A 2012 study examined
Yeah, so this is case reports.
The life expectancy of 81 eunuchs in Korea and matched their life expectancy to the life expectancy of other non-castrated men of similar socioeconomic status during the same time period. They found that eunuchs lived...
Yeah, this is garbage. This is fucking case reports. So again, you have the Framingham experiment. Men with the highest testosterone levels had a 4 times lower risk of all-cause mortality.
Lived 14 to 19 years longer than non-castrated men of the same status. Even more interestingly, out of the 81 eunuchs studied, 3 of them lived to be over 100 years old. Another study, published in 1969,
cool story, those are case reports, lowest quality of evidence.
As you can see in this image, showed that mentally retarded men who were castrated before puberty lived significantly longer, about 14 years longer, than non-castrated mentally retarded men.
More case reports.
And in the same facilities. So, across species, including humans, males live longer when castrated before...
He's showing the lowest quality evidence imaginable. This is just outrageously fucking stupid. Son Goku, don't need chillers. The reason why I disagree with Ben Shapiro here is because Western morality isn't a byproduct of Christianity, rather principles like Golden Rule, which far precede Christianity. Thoughts?
If God wrote the book, how could there be things we don't agree with? It either got to be perfect because it's written by you-know-who, or it's just not perfect and written by people, which it was, obviously, and it's full of nonsense and wickedness and things that are everything but virtuous.
So, Bill, you and I agree on morality. I'd say like 87%.
Morality,
87.5.
but not from the Bible.
I have a question. Why?
Because it's for slavery. Because it's okay with slavery.
Why do you and I agree on morality like 87.5%? I'm a religious Jew. You're an atheist. Why do we agree on those things? I'll tell you. I mean, I can give you my answer.
Yeah, please.
Because we probably grew up a few miles from each other in a Western society that has several thousand years of biblical history behind it. And so you can think that you hit that triple and you formed your own morality, but the reality is you were born morally on third base.
No.
I mean, before Christianity, you could go into like a Roman society that was pagan and find you get along and agree with most of what everyone thinks. Like it's just fucking stupid. Thanks for the donation, Son Goku.
Or puberty. There is a theory called the disposable soma theory that proposes that resources are competitively allocated between repair functions and reproductive functions, and thus reproductive ability occurs at the expense of increased aging. Now, as you all know, I have a deep suspicion of epidemiological studies and cell theories. Placebo-controlled, randomized trials only, I keep saying. Otherwise, it's not evidence, it's storytelling, and what I've been doing so far is storytelling. As we move into...
He didn't even show that. He showed case reports.
To actually examining the evidence, however, bear in mind that just like diet and exercise, doing long-term, randomized controlled trials is nearly impossible. So if the effects of testosterone take 30 or 40 years to have an effect, we'll likely never know that for sure. Also, castration is very difficult to randomize or to placebo, and the ethics of randomizing testosterone reduction in non-cancer patients makes it difficult to test, since we no longer go around randomly castrating people. But we can test for the effects of testosterone supplementation. So let's move on to reviewing the evidence that does exist. Surveying the literature on placebo-controlled testosterone supplementation, first we realized that over all the trials that exist, there is a significant bias based on who pays for the study. A 2013 meta-analysis showed that industry-funded testosterone trials tended not to show cardiovascular risk, but non-industry-funded trials did show cardiovascular risk. The conclusion reads as follows. The effects of testosterone on cardiovascular-related events varied with source of funding, particularly in trials.
So, relationship between serum testosterone and cardiovascular disease risk determined using the Framingham risk score in male patients with sexual dysfunction. Mean age of the 308 enrolled patients, 49. Patients' mean body mass index, 25, blah, blah, blah. Median calculated free and bioavailable testosterone concentrations were 0.052 nanograms per mil and 1.3 nanograms per mil, respectively. Mean FRS 10.47. FRS tended to show a negative correlation with total and calculated free testosterone levels, but this was not significant. Multiple linear regression analysis, significant negative correlation observed between total testosterone and FRS. So basically, what they found, conclusion, testosterone level is related to Framingham risk score, and that high testosterone levels may decrease the risk of cardiovascular disease. And there may be a reason for that. Higher testosterone levels seem to lower your LDL. And I've experienced this personally. My LDL has consistently been around 80. Even when I get very lean, my LDL seems to have always been around 80, but as soon as I started taking testosterone, my LDL dropped to 61. So it was almost a 20-point decrease compared to when I was natural. There's a lot of research on higher testosterone having health benefits. Free testosterone levels are associated with mobility limitation and physical performance. So men with lower testosterone, they break down and like their physical, like they have lower levels of physical activity. They can't exercise as much. They have higher risk of mobility limitations. So if you're an older person and you can't get up and walk, you can't get up off the toilet on your own, like you're just going to have a higher risk of dying. And if testosterone is, responsible for higher energy, more muscle mass, shit like that, and you have better mobility and higher levels of physical activity and you're more, you can be more independent, you'd expect that would, likely not only improve, your overall well-being, but also reduce your mortality risk. Endogenous testosterone and mortality due to all causes, cardiovascular disease, cancer in men, European Perspective Investigation of Cancer in Norfolk. Endogenous testosterone concentrations are inversely related to mortality due to cardiovascular disease in all causes. Low testosterone may be a predictive marker for those at high risk of cardiovascular disease. So, let me see. We examined the prospective relationship between endogenous testosterone concentrations and mortality due to all causes, cardiovascular disease, and cancer in a nested case control study based on, case control. Well, he relied on case control. Endogenous testosterone concentrations at baseline were inversely related to mortality due to all causes, cardiovascular. So, by the way, this lines up with, large prospective cohorts like the Framingham study. So men with higher testosterone had lower risk of death from heart disease, cancer, and all causes. So what this guy is saying is just nonsense. He's looking at shitty case control studies on fucking eunuchs. Like what does that have to do with fucking anything? And I mean, like, why in the fuck? It's just so silly. It could very well be the case that in order to maximize your lifespan, like let's say, okay, you have to eat a really shitty diet that you hate and be skinny as fuck and constantly be starving. You have to castrate yourself so you have, like, no sex drive, no energy, and you sit in a fucking chair all day. Like, okay, if that helps you live 10 years longer, is that a life you want to live? Like, what the fuck does this even matter? Natty Cope destroyed her $92. I'm loving the reaction vid to that MD. Even if testosterone reduces lifespan, it's a worthwhile trade-off. I feel so much better. Quality of life matters too, not just longevity. Also, the studies showing risk don't include taking ancillaries/blood work. Well, yeah, that's the fundamental problem when he brings up the studies in bodybuilders, because, like, up until recently, most bodybuilders weren't getting any fucking blood work done. And what they do, some of the smarter ones to compensate for that, is they would do, like 8-week cycles, then come off completely, do an 8-week cycle, come off completely. But a lot of these dudes just stayed on. Didn't get any blood work, didn't take any ancillary medications like ARBs to manage blood pressure. And, like, yeah, no shit. When you're taking high doses of anabolic steroids and you're doing professional open competitive bodybuilding, not getting blood work, not taking any ancillary medications, and the reality is, too, a lot of these bodybuilders also do party drugs. Look at what happened to Antoine Vaillant. He was a big party guy. He liked going out to clubs, and he got addicted to fucking crystal meth. So when you're looking at a population of people who don't track their fucking health, don't manage the side effects of the drugs they're on, and they're also doing, like, other fucking drugs like party drugs, no shit, they're gonna die younger. Like, it's just a silly fucking comparison to make. Thanks for the donation, dude.
Trials not funded by the pharmaceutical industry, exogenous testosterone increased the risk of cardiovascular-related events. Furthermore, in that analysis, the risks of testosterone supplementation did not change based on the original level of testosterone, meaning in trials that were not funded by the pharmaceutical industry, even men who were supplementing for low testosterone still had an increased risk of cardiovascular events.
So, again, you'd have to look at the research and how this is conducted. Were they managing side effects? Why were they on testosterone replacement therapy? These may be older men who are overweight, and the reason they needed to go on testosterone replacement therapy is because they're older and overweight and not particularly healthy. And then, like, again, was it the testosterone that was causing this, or was it because they were overweight and not following a good, diet and lifestyle?
It is also important to note that up to 40% of the total bodily testosterone is not made by the testes and is not secreted into the bloodstream. It is made by various tissues in the body and used locally in the tissue that made it or in nearby tissues without ever entering the bloodstream. Looking at the prostate tissue levels of testosterone in men who have undergone castration as a part of prostate cancer treatment only show a reduction of about 60% despite near zero blood levels. Once again, the actual complex biology is ignored by the bro science of trying to measure blood levels.
What he just said is complete and utter nonsense, and he has no fucking idea what he's talking about. The only other source of testosterone is your adrenal glands. And just looking at prostate levels of these hormones that's not a suggestion that the majority of the testosterone in your body is not produced by the testicles.
Levels of everything. Imagine if taking your blood level of testosterone to 0 only reduces your tissue levels by 60%. Do you really think that small changes like going from low normal to average are going to have a huge effect? Regardless, looking at the literature, there are plenty of studies showing...
Yes. That is so fucking ridiculous. I know people who've done that, and yes, it makes a big fucking difference.
Results on both sides, as you can see in this figure from the meta-analysis I mentioned earlier, showing which studies favored testosterone and which favored placebo. The most recent trial, the Traverse trial, was funded by AbbVie, the manufacturer of Androgel, as well as Acerus Pharmaceuticals and Endo Pharmaceuticals. The trial also had several authors who disclosed multiple conflicts of interest, including paid contracting and grants from pharmaceutical companies, but it nonetheless did not show an increased risk of heart attacks or death from testosterone supplementation. Traverse was a 3-year placebo-controlled trial, and although it did not show any increase in cardiac events or death, the testosterone supplementation group did experience an increased risk of pulmonary embolism, which is blood clots in the lungs, atrial fibrillation, which is a heart arrhythmia that increases the risk of stroke, and kidney failure. The reason I mention this is because even in...
Okay, the idea that testosterone is going to increase risk of kidney failure is so fucking silly. It is not directly nephrotoxic, so this is just nonsense.
This trial, with its industry funding and short time span of only 3 years, and despite the debate between funded and independent trials over whether testosterone increases the rate of heart attacks or death, no one, not one...
Like, this guy just flat out doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. And he like, again, it's just like basic bitch shit. Like, testosterone is scary. You should cut your balls off. It's better for you.
One single trial has suggested that testosterone reduces cardiac disease or improves longevity.
That is not true. We literally just looked at one.
The notion that testosterone will improve longevity or life expectancy on either a short-term or a long-term basis is, in my mind, dead in the water. There may be a debate on the opposite side. The true risks may be unknown, but there is no basis for thinking that testosterone supplementation may increase longevity. And this is important because it highlights once again one of the...
That is not true. Again, at least when you're talking about treatment of hypogonadism, there does seem to be a benefit with all-cause mortality.
Major points of this channel. Just because there is an association between muscle mass and longevity does not mean that improving muscle mass by any method will also increase longevity. After all, the bodybuilders have massive amounts of muscle. Why aren't they all living to 100? Biological principles generally include something called path dependence, which means that it matters just as much how you get to an outcome as it does that you get to an outcome. I can lower my A1C and keep it low by donating blood regularly, or taking high doses of vitamin C to screw up the lab equipment, but that will not in any way improve my diabetes. I've hacked the number without adjusting anything useful. Similarly, you can increase your muscle mass reliably with testosterone, but that will in no way improve your longevity. We must stop confusing markers with reality. So,
I don't know how we can claim something
Why
like
is
that.
Hollywood rebooting everything VG like how they ironically state in the trailer including an old late 90s B-monster Jaws knockoff flick that most people don't even remember?
I don't know if, like, it's Sony Pictures. I don't know if you can really call that Hollywood. Thanks for the donation though, Dodo. I don't know how we can make a claim like this, so especially in elderly individuals who are at risk for sarcopenia, the idea that testosterone supplementation to alleviate sarcopenia, how that would not have any benefit for longevity is just fucking ridiculous. And again, pretty reliably, testosterone supplementation will lower your LDL cholesterol. That we know LDL is causal for heart disease risk.
if not for longevity, why else might a man take testosterone? Well, if you specifically want to increase your muscle mass for aesthetic reasons, and you're willing to take on the risks of shortening your lifespan, shrinking your testicles, and developing a lifelong dependency on an injection, then you could absolutely take testosterone. There is a ton of evidence.
Oh, okay. Why would he literally just say castrating yourself, cutting your balls off, is beneficial for longevity, but then he fearmongers about, oh, if you take testosterone, your testicles are going to shrink. You literally just advocated for cutting your own fucking balls off.
Showing that testosterone supplementation at high doses increases muscle mass and reduces body fat. The aesthetic results of this are largely inarguable. Here is a study showing that taking testosterone alone led to increased muscle mass compared to weightlifting alone, although interestingly less gain in strength. And the combination of testosterone supplementation and weightlifting created a tremendous increase in both muscle mass and strength. Specifically, notice that testosterone created more strength than placebo, but less than weightlifting, while testosterone definitely created more muscle mass than weightlifting alone. However, it is important to remember that if testosterone is stopped, essentially all of these gains are reversed. Okay, aesthetics is one benefit, but not longevity. Why else would a man consider taking testosterone? According to the US Endocrine Society Clinical Practice Guideline, any of the following symptoms are typically associated with low testosterone: reduced sexual desire, libido, and activity, decreased spontaneous erections, breast discomfort, gynecomastia, loss of body hair, reduced shaving, smaller shrinking testes, height loss, low trauma fracture, low bone mineral density, hot flushes, sweats, decreased energy, motivation, initiative, and self-confidence, feeling sad or blue, depressed mood, dysthymia, poor concentration and memory, sleep disturbance, increased sleep.
Yeah, because we all want to be miserable, fat, out of shape, and, just be depressed. So, but we'll live longer.
Reduced muscle bulk and strength, increased body fat, BMI, and diminished physical or work performance. Remember, as I've discussed so often, associations are not causes. If, for example, we look at the association between sleep disturbance and low testosterone, the low testosterone could cause the sleep disturbance could cause the low testosterone, or both could be caused by some untested third factor. That is true for any and all associations. The only way to tell which one is caused by which is to do a placebo-controlled randomized trial. And in fact, in 2016, a coordinated series of 7 placebo-controlled randomized trials were done to assess the effects of testosterone supplementation. The trial lasted for 1 year and included 788 men aged 65 and older, the average age was 72, who had definitively low testosterone levels, 2 measurements that averaged less than 275 nanograms per deciliter. The men were randomized to receive either testosterone gel or placebo, and the testosterone recipients had their dose adjusted to a target that was in the mid-range of normal for young men.
So, by the way, when he's not separating the delivery mechanism here, there's a big difference between testosterone gel and doing injections. The absorption rates are different. How it affects your hormone concentration is different. Aromatization and conversion into DHT is different. What you'll find from testosterone gels is they absorb extremely quickly. They do not cause the same high peak, and they have a low aromatization rate and a very high conversion into DHT. So, that might actually put you at higher risk for heart disease. Estrogen is cardioprotective, so if you're using a testosterone delivery mechanism like androgel, that may not be as cardioprotective as doing injections, and in fact, it could increase your risk of things like, like putting your blood in a hypercoagulable state, increased risk of stroke, heart attack, because you're raising testosterone, but you're not really increasing estrogen. So, like, he's not even separating out delivery mechanisms and shit.
Dose adjustments, the amount of gel, were also given to placebo subjects in an equal ratio. The trial had a 90% power and properly used an intention-to-treat analysis methodology. In other words, there weren't any major shenanigans, things were done normally and appropriately in the study. As expected, in the testosterone group, the average level of testosterone got up to about 500, and in the placebo group, the average levels stayed below around 275.
500 is fucking nothing.
Where they started. And the results were as follows. In the testosterone group, compared to placebo for 1 year, all aspects of sexual function were improved, including erections, libido, and sexual activity. Bone mineral density markedly improved. Anemia improved. Coronary artery plaque levels worsened. They increased significantly. Depression was slightly...
Yeah, that's probably due to it being androgel. It's because of the gel. If they're taking injections, that probably wouldn't be the case.
Improved. There was no effect on cognitive function. There was no effect on energy levels. The improvement in physical function measured by walking distance with testosterone was mixed. What does all this mean? Simply put, if a man's testosterone levels are low and the symptoms he's struggling with are related to sexual function, then replacing testosterone is effective. If he has low bone density, again, supplementation works. However, if the concern is cognitive function or energy levels, that is, if the concerns are subjective...
They only got their testosterone levels to 500, and they were taking androgel. Again, one of the cognitive benefits to taking testosterone is conversion of testosterone into estrogen. So if you're taking androgel, which lowers aromatization, then yeah, you're not going to find that benefit. If you take injections and you get your levels to around 1,000 or 1,500 or more, and you have more conversion into estrogen, you'll probably find improvements in cognitive function and energy.
Concerns.
And you probably also won't have these issues with coronary plaque.
Then there was no difference compared to placebo. Okay. But what if you're not older than 65 and your testosterone levels fall in the normal range, but you just wonder if you might feel better on testosterone? What if you're like 45 and you have some low energy or some decrease in body hair and you just want to bump those testosterone levels up a bit? Wouldn't that help? And so here's the money shot, guys. They did test this. They did a brilliant trial using something called a crossover design, where each person ends up being his own placebo control. The men in the trial were brought in because they or their doctor suspected that they had symptoms that were due to likely, or they felt it was likely to be due to low testosterone, low energy, loss of hair, sexual issues, etc. All the things I listed before. Based on that suspicion alone, they were enrolled in the trial. The average testosterone levels were around 311, inside the normal range, but definitely lower than...
That is not the normal range. Okay, so there are 3 large prospective cohorts that this like normal range, quote unquote, is based on. What they found initially was that male testosterone will vary between 300 to about 1200. It was different from trial to trial. I think one was like 280 to 1,000. Another was like 350 to 1,100, you know, something like that. But around that range, so 300 to 1,100 on average. What they ended up doing was there was a bunch of statisticians who looked at the data again with no regard for actual clinical outcomes. And they did some weird statistic shit where they said, based on the trials, the normal range was between 250 and I think like 890. So they basically changed the definition for hypogonadism based on some weird reanalysis of the data using some statistical method. And again, there was no regard for clinical outcomes. Again, men at the higher end of the range for testosterone had like a 4 times lower risk of all-cause mortality. So if your testosterone was 1,000, you had a 4 times lower risk of all-cause mortality compared to a man who was at 300. And the men who were at 300, they tended to be older, so like 70, 80. And they also tended to be like higher, like they're more likely to be overweight, they're more likely to drink alcohol, shit like that. So 300 is not normal. 300 is a sign that you're unhealthy. So him saying this, oh, well, they're still within the normal range. Normal range for who? Like a fucking 75-year-old who drinks alcohol? It's stupid to say this.
I mean, what's next for Hollywood? A live-action Toy Story remake?
Oh god, they might actually do that. Don't give them any ideas. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
In the normal range for young men. The average there is about 467. The testosterone supplement was...
So, by the way, what he's saying again is misinformation. The normal range for young men right now is considered to be around like 450. That is the same as somebody who's in their 70s. So a 25-year-old man, your average 25-year-old man right now has about the same testosterone as your average 70-year-old man. Does that make sense to you? So the average level of testosterone has been declining. I think a decade or so ago, the average for a 25-year-old used to be like 550. And if you go back like another decade, I think it used to be like around 650. So testosterone levels are going down, and there's also a lot of other fucked shit with the data they're looking at. So rather than adjusting for obesity, what they look at is BMI. So they make adjustments for BMI. I think a BMI below like 25 is considered healthy body weight. Well, you can be at a normal BMI, but be obese. And apparently 70% of men who are within normal BMI range are obese. So again, when you're looking at this fucking data, take it with a huge grain of salt, because they're probably looking at a population of people who are unhealthy, overweight, and then when you're told, oh, well, you have normal testosterone, your testosterone's at 450, that's normal for your age. That's normal for somebody who's unhealthy, drinks, is obese, and does not exercise. So, like again, this guy is removing all context from all of this and just spewing nonsense.
Dosed to raise testosterone above the 467 level and reliably did so in samples that were taken during the trial. In the first phase, half the men got testosterone, the other half got placebo, and they stayed on it for 6 weeks. Then, everyone stopped for 3 weeks. In phase 2...
So, it takes I don't know what... He's not actually explaining how they were given testosterone. I don't know if it was androgel. I don't know if they were put on testanenthate or testcypionate. I know for testcypionate, it takes at least 6 weeks to get to peak stable levels. So by the time you actually reach peak stable levels, they're ending that phase of the trial. So it's a little silly to see how men are responding to testosterone, but you're as soon as they reach peak stable concentrations, you're ending the trial, and you're not keeping them there for like at least another month to see how they feel. Like, oh well, your levels peaked. Let's stop. It's really stupid.
They switched. The men who got testosterone got the placebo, and the ones that got placebo got testosterone, and they did that for another 6 weeks. At the end of each period, they were given questionnaires on quality of life, energy levels, focus, physical function, and sexual function. None of these showed any difference between placebo and actual testosterone. And no one likes this. So many times we have an emotional reaction to the...
Yeah, so I'm assuming this was just a garbage study, and again, I have no idea what study is he talking about? Did he even show the fucking trial? What's the trial? So what is this? So we don't know. We have no idea what testosterone treatment they were given. We have no idea if it was some sort of dermal gel. We have no idea if it was injectable. We don't know what ester was used, propionate, enanthate, cypionate, or like some kind of blend like sustanon. We have no idea what their peak concentrations were during the trial. This is just nonsense.
If you want to feel better...
buddy, I've been on testosterone. I can fucking tell you there's a fucking difference when you're on it. Like, this is just silly. I gotta take a piss. I'll be right back.
Oh, hey. Such a good baby.
Oh, dude. I am so glad most of the water retention that I was having is gone. I'm actually pissing out the fucking water. Oh, I feel so much fucking better. Blackberry donated $2. Let me see.
Black people can't be anti-Semitic. We are Jew. You understand what I'm saying? We are Jew. So cool out. Until you do your facts, until you really do the facts with the fake indoctrination that y'all pull into the schools and all that, you know what I'm saying? We're not following y'all rules.
I mean, just like calling DEFCON on Jews and that's like, do you take back any of that sort of more extreme stuff?
You know what? For all the kids that love me, all the Jewish kids that love me, I'm sorry if y'all had to hear a grown-up conversation with us screaming at each other. But we got to a point where something needed to happen. Something needed to be said. Somebody needed to say something. Now, if you're in an argument with somebody, you're not going to say everything the right way. But it got to a point where y'all ain't going to just keep running, start calling me bizarre and press for all these years. I got to a point, how many more times y'all going to call me crazy? How many more times y'all going to give me fake medication that makes me fat off of a misdiagnosis when I really have slight signs of autism from the car accident?
What the fuck? He thinks a car accident made him autistic. He probably should have stayed on his antipsychotics. Like, holy fuck, dude. What a fucking weirdo.
But then y'all gave me, you say, whatever, just give him that bipolar medication. Y'all try to kill the superhero.
Okay. What a retard. Thanks for the donation, Blackberry. When you went to the shooting, when shooting with Ask Yourself, was it the one at Bradford? What was it called?
Do you think if I sit on the toilet and push really hard my pussy will turn back into a penis? A long hard throbbing veiny cock and balls with cum dripping into the toilet. 4/5, 1/10, 5/8, 5/6 care of. 17. Inverted exclamation mark, inverted exclamation mark, inverted exclamation mark, inverted exclamation mark.
I'm gonna skip that. Probably not. I don't think that's how that works. Thanks for the donation though, non-wib. No, Ask Yourself and I went to Target Sports Canada. We went with a friend of ours that had a membership to the range. So he brought his own ammo and everything. Like, I don't know why, I guess it's how they make money, but yeah, anytime you rent a firearm at a range, they just charge you up the fucking ass. Like, it is ridiculous. They don't, I guess part of the reason is because they, I guess for legal reasons and safety reasons and all that shit, they make you do the shooting with what is it? Guidance or surveillance with one of the range people. So you're kind of paying for that service, but yeah, they charge you up the ass for the ammunition. They charge you like fucking 4 times what the actual ammo's worth. It's fucking ridiculous.
You need to do better. We need to stop inventing fake diseases to explain our psychological and, dare I say it, our spiritual dissatisfactions.
Yeah, so this guy's a lying, manipulative retard. So he wouldn't even show the fucking study he's talking about. And then he claimed, oh, men who are on testosterone saw no difference in quality of life, energy, fatigue, focus, sexual function. Like, buddy, I started off with 210 milligrams testosterone per week, which, like, most people would consider to be a high TRT dose. Like, from my perspective, I don't think that's a TRT dose. I think that's a mild performance enhancing dose. But I can tell you, like, I didn't even have hypogonadal symptoms beforehand. It makes a fucking difference. like you feel fucking superhuman. And not just superhuman in the way where, you know, your muscle mass increases and shit. Like the amount of energy you have, the way it changes your mental outlook, the mood enhancing benefits. Like, this is a fucking joke that this guy is trying to gaslight you into thinking, oh, testosterone doesn't even do anything. Like, give me a fucking break. Anybody who's taken these drugs will fucking tell you this guy's a fucking idiot and he's fucking lying and he's trying to gaslight and manipulate you into thinking, oh, it doesn't even do anything. Like, fuck you, dude. You're a fucking loser. Like, stay weak and small. Like, if you want to cut your balls off and live as a eunuch because you think it'll extend your life expectancy, go for it. Be a fucking beta male loser, can't get a fucking boner, and, like, feel like shit constantly. And, yeah, maybe you'll get lucky and live a few more years. Go for it. Fucking idiot.
Greg caught on film saying his testosterone doesn't work because there are Jews inside his own supplements.
Hey, good to meet you.
I'm still trying to get a refund from the testosterone.
What happened?
Because that shit didn't have no testosterone in it.
From when?
When I ordered. What you
How
mean
many
from
years
when?
ago? Like,
recently.
Oh.
When you were selling that in the last year.
When you say there's no Turk in it, what do you mean? Like it was an empty bottle?
There's no actual legit testosterone in that shit.
No, that's not true at all. You must have had like Turk blacks from
Bruh, oh my gosh. I lost muscle, dog.
There's no way that
I lost muscle.
That it wasn't a Juga inside of it.
A Jew inside it?
A Juga Turkestanica.
Oh.
Turkesterone is part of a Juga Turkestanica. That's what it's from.
But it said that there wasn't no testosterone in it.
There's no way that this is possible.
But that's what they said.
Who's they?
Everybody said that.
Like Jeff Nippert?
Yes, bruh.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Bro, on my daddy's dick. On my daddy's dick.
On my dad's dick.
Nah,
Right.
for real though. For real. I still like watch your shit.
Yeah.
I've got to go to some of these, like, you know, fitness event things. See if I can find Greg. Be kind of minty.
I thought, bruh. Can I get a refund?
Unfortunately, you can't get a refund unless you just write the company and say, I didn't get the gains I wanted to get a refund.
Bruh, I'm small as fuck.
You look good to me.
Thanks for the donation, Sneed.
How many girls have you deflowered in your life? Lol. Probably 0. You don't even know what it's like to break into a fresh pussy and make it bleed a little nigger. Pretty sure Sugar Boy deflowered that Chinese barely legal type.
Don't fucking care. Thanks for the donation. Trank Tufano donated $2.14. Well, the comments are roasting that MD regarding HGH, though. Leo claimed it accelerated aging due to cell division being sped up, thus reaching the Hayflick limit faster. He talks about it here.
I know.
Here's the fucking thing, dude. This is all speculative. Who knows? Maybe. Like, if you test this sort of shit in rats, like, yeah, they end up living shorter. In human beings, where we have way more biological mechanisms to, like, you know, prevent things like oxidative stress, repair DNA, it probably doesn't really matter. And there's probably like a range for this too. Like if you double your natural growth hormone production, or double your natural levels, maybe that doesn't make a difference. But if you like quadruple it or quintuple it, or octuple it, like maybe that, you know. So if you're injecting 5 IUs per day, maybe that does nothing. 10 IUs, maybe that does nothing. 20 IUs, okay, maybe then, like, you're shortening your life. So, I don't know. Who knows?
We disagree on this subject.
I've already seen this. I'm not going to bother watching it.
I'm not saying my view.
It's kind of funny how this guy died so young, and he called himself Leo in longevity. Yeah, basically this guy beat up a prostitute, and then her pimp or gang member friends she had killed him. Fucking retarded. Thanks for the donation, Trank Tufano.
Sugar boy out here deflowering.
I don't care. Thanks for the donation, 21st.
Trying to modify.
Let me see the comments. Glad we keep taking my TRT that I've been on for 20 years that my insurance covers and would never go back to low T. But hey, keep selling those 11K per year memberships. Believe the latest data shows that there are around 33 million men on TRT, so why aren't we all dropping dead? Started TRT 1 week ago, and the one thing I've noticed so far is that I cry easier. He's probably hyper aromatizing. I started taking TRT at 60. The effects were as follows: better sleep, increased focus, end of psoriasis, increased muscle tone, general return to many of the markers of health. Yeah.
Hey guys, I saw Snitchard's OnlyFans. He made a video where he twists his dick and pulls it between his legs and tucks it into his own asshole. He starts thrusting and goes shh, oh, 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 woo 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 woo, oh, 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 oh.
I think you subbed to the wrong OnlyFans. Thanks for the donation though, non-web. Thank God this video only had 1K views. Here we see a video of a man saying, I would rather live on my knees rather than die on his feet. Why live a long life of misery rather than a shorter life of fulfillment? Not only is there just no evidence that moderate doses of performance-enhancing drugs really have any negative effects, so long as you keep track of certain things like blood pressure, hematocrit. But even if it were the case that it might reduce your life expectancy, who fucking cares? Life is so much better when you're on testosterone. It's so silly for him to say, oh, eunuchs live longer. Yeah, as if anybody wants to live as a castrated male. It's so silly. I'm in the hospital at the moment with clots in the lungs. Decided to stop TRT and was about to wean off when this happened. When I hear stupid shit like this, I have to figure these people are just fucking dumb. You can get regular blood work and see if your blood is in a hypercoagulable state. So I don't know if these people are getting testosterone prescribed by some dumb fuck bitch retard doctor, and then they're not going in for regular checkups. And it turns out their platelet count is massively fucking elevated and they never got that checked. How the fuck does that happen? It just sounds so stupid to me. There's just no fucking chance you wouldn't be able to see that coming from a mile away.
Is White Shorts Man roided? Return to Frank.
Here's how you bone.
I don't know who White Shorts Man is. Thanks for the donation though, Ja. I don't care, 21st. Thanks for the donation.
Smash in the most effective manner. What you want to do is realize that the swelling.
It's comical that these looks.
Oh, we already saw that one.
I don't know if any of you guys have experienced this before, so if you can give me some advice on what I should be doing. Roofing company was redoing my roof. They basically left it uncovered, and it's raining outside because they did not secure it properly. So like my whole living room got flooded through the ceiling. It's kind of hard to see. It did stop raining, so it's not pouring in now. You know, the water was just completely leaking through the seams in the window here.
I literally see no water whatsoever.
Here, the whole inside of the attic is soaked.
I see no water at all.
You could see the color difference between the wood, how it's all soaking wet up here. So about half this attic is
oh yeah, I see some water there.
It's wet, and some of the insulation is wet as well because, you know, the water's just seeping through. They didn't cover it well enough. Had some water.
Okay, yeah, there's some water
dripping through here in my garage. Was flooding water over there, and then there was water seeping through up there.
You know, I feel like with the amount of weird problems Frank has, like every day there's something going on. Like some contractor screwed him over. They didn't do it right. I feel like he hires people from like Craigslist, and he doesn't hire actual professionals.
There are two dripping all over the floor in here. I'm a little worried because I can kind of smell the dampness too coming from the attic. I called this company, well, a few companies up. The only one that could show up immediately was Surf Pro. Guys just came here. They're going back to their warehouse to get some more plastic because they didn't realize that my roof wasn't secure. So these roofers did like a hack job of putting plastic up, and it blew off the next night. I was calling them for about a week to get back here and secure the roof. I thought we might have been okay, but not okay. I mean, this job site's a disaster. I got the dumpster about a week ago, and they never came back to fill the dumpster. God knows how much damage they caused to my siding. I know, like, my new propane tank got completely scratched up from them just like throwing shingles on it. So really, really terrible. Basically, I think this roofing company bit off more than they can chew. They were working on my house on like their off days, and now this has turned into like a nightmare disaster insurance debacle. So those guys are going to come back, put plastic on the roof. I'm going to file an insurance claim and see what I can get covered. I paid this roofing company a deposit, and they were supposed to do all the labor. You know, I have the underlayment ready. I had all the ice and water ready. So this whole situation's ridiculous. I mean, if it was up to me, you know, I'll go drive to Lowe's or Home Depot today. I'll get all the ice and water and the felt, and I'll get a couple guys, and I'll do the whole roof myself. But since I did pay for it, and it should be covered by insurance, you know, I'm going to call my insurance company first and see.
I don't know how this keeps happening to him.
Glad to see you're still alive. Have you seen this chick? It reminds me of your old riding vlogs. She totally ripped off your style.
Yeah.
Motorcycle vlog attempt 1. Join.
I think that might be the same helmet I have. Is that I don't know if that's the Arai. Maybe not, no.
Come on.
It's a scorpion.
And we're off. The beginning of our journey has begun.
What a lazy fucktard. Jeez. Dude, isn't she rich? Like, why the fuck can't she get a fucking action camera? Dodo, donators, Frank sounds way too calm and not depressed after that. Seems like a major existential problem. I think he's committing insurance fraud. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't put it past him. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
This is my first time using this camera and doing a vlog in this style. I've also never consumed a vlog of this style, so I don't really have any point of reference. If you guys have suggestions on...
I can't believe how insanely lazy she is. Like, no care or regard for making the video, like, even remotely fucking watchable or enjoyable. Like, all you have to do is get a fucking... like, I'll show you. I've got an Osmo Action 5 Pro. That's the best motovlog camera right now. And you don't even need to put much effort into, like, mounting it to a helmet. You can get one of these. It literally just clips under any fucking helmet. And that's what I use. Like, she's rich. She can just go out and buy a $500 camera. What is her fucking problem?
Basically just like the way this part is.
Oh my god, this is just horrendous.
Along with... I reacted though because I was too slow reacting. Here I'm changing the camera, so let me know. I didn't really like this angle as much because I felt like you couldn't...
Yeah, so she just mounted it to the handlebars, and it's just boring as shit. I don't even know what fucking camera she's using. It looks like a cell phone.
See...
Frank does this exercise when he finds out another one of his businesses has gone belly up.
If only, I wish. Thanks for the donation, Sneed.
What was going on? Like, if anything interesting happened in front of me that...
I have no idea why she doesn't... Maybe it's because of her nails, but... I don't understand people who can ride a motorcycle. Like, she lives in LA too, where it's hot. Your hands get sweaty, and it's hard to, like, actually control the fucking bike. And especially, like, when it's hot and your hands are sweaty and you're going at high speed, like, it's kind of stupid to ride like that. And if you fall, like, your hands are gonna be absolutely fucked. Kid Boo donators, how much would I have to donate for you to watch the whole thing uninterrupted?
The organization of the Gote 13 has undergone...
Dude, I'm not watching that. Like, maybe $50. Thanks for the donation, Kid Boo.
that I was seeing, but here you can see what I look like. Kind of a spazoid, kind of looking all over the place. I think I did see two or...
I think she has a Triumph, and it's like a 350cc. It's a little like baby bike.
Something crazy was happening. The car
Oh my
back.
god, dude.
So I was like, this is a bonus.
Jeez. Her videos are just terrible.
Really been down here that much, but I made it down here this Sunday. We're just going to show you guys the things going on this week. Most important thing is we have the turkey pre-orders available for Thanksgiving. We're the only company selling corn and soy-free turkey at this low of a price. The turkeys are a little bigger this year, you know, like 25, 26, 27 pounds. So our price per pound on those is like half of everyone else. You know, you might have, I forgot the exact price, but like if you spend $250 on our turkey, you're getting like twice as much turkey as...
What is the situation with the Tate brothers?
I have no idea. They've been able to travel recently. I have no idea what's going on. Thanks for the donation, James.
Who's more of a fucking idiot, Frank Tufano or Penguins Zero? I think Frank Tufano is more of a fucking idiot.
I think they're both roughly as stupid as each other. It's just that Frank has more symptoms of personality disorder.
Why are you being such a stingy ass nigger? Bleach is the best anime series of all time besides Dragon Ball, but yo ho mulatto fuck ass can't appreciate good content, you autistic weirdo fuck face.
Bleach isn't good. Thanks for the donation though, Kid Boo. Yeah, I think Penguin Zero and Frank Tufano are about as stupid as each other. It's just that Penguin Zero, I think he does actually have a personality disorder. It's just that his personality disorder is less self-destructive than Frank's. Thanks for the donation, you fucking idiot. Sir Pilliam Choir Pugmire donated $2. My best friend through high school was top of everything and a few years younger, but skipped a my grade. He took the military placement test and ranked one of the highest in the country ever, but wanted to be an entry-level infantry rank instead. I mean, he might have had a variety of reasons for wanting to do that. He might have felt like he's serving his country more. He might have found the job more interesting or fun. Everyone has their own reasons. Thanks for the donation though, dude.
You would get from someone else for just like 20 bucks more. So as I said, the turkeys are a little bigger, but you're getting a much larger turkey with much lower price per pound. We have a few new organs available that we haven't sold before. I think there's plenty of spleen, udder, and lungs. I think we're pretty limited on the other stuff like the eyes and the brains and some of the glands. But we're gonna hop in the fridge and show you guys what we have, and then we'll go in the freezer too. We got the refrigeration running in here. It's a little warm and humid, and we got to kind of seal it up better so it's not working that well.
CDG donated $2. Let me see. That doesn't look like something I want to watch. Thanks for that donation, dude.
But on the in the steam kettle over here, we're doing a demi-glace. Someone emailed me and said, hey Frank, can you do the demi-glace again? I said, you know, we're not really making any money on it. I don't really want to make it, but, and I'm kind of giving a secret away here, but if you have demi-glace that high quality, I guess it's not really a secret if I don't tell you what I use it in. It allows you to make a lot of different products, like products that you would normally put vegetables in. Although the demi-glace costs a lot of money to make, you can use that as a flavoring agent instead. So I showed my guys the sourdough recipes, and we have a bunch of stuff ready to bake this week. Plenty of regular sourdough loaves. We have garlic sourdough loaves. I know we did a fresh batch of chocolate chip cookies. These are a lot more, they rose a lot more, a little drier, so still working out some kinks, but still very delicious cookies. I think we also made a fresh batch of glazed donuts. As usual, all of the fresh raw dairy has come in this week to ship out first thing tomorrow. All the goat and sheep dairy over here. That's actually this is the goat cheese I made myself. So you guys know we had the beef tallow butter sticks. This was the other big thing I almost forgot. We also have lamb and Iberico pork lard butter sticks, if you guys like using those instead of the regular tallow. Here are some of the fresh beef brains. These are sold by the half. Underneath that, we have an entirely new product we're gonna do. Some of you may have noticed we ran out of the canned cod liver. I thought, why not make it ourselves? Very special product considering that we have access to the actual cod liver. So we went through every single cod liver, picked out the best ones, sliced them up nice, put it in a jar, glass jar of course, and we're gonna poach these in water. Haven't figured out the exact amount of time we're gonna poach these for, because
These are still raw right now. You can see that the oil has naturally separated. So we're gonna have the highest quality glass jarred cod liver available. It is a very premium product and
How about not eating disgusting shit?
very time intensive. So, you know, we're not just going to sell it's like these cheap cans for $2 or $3 a can. I think it's going to be around $4 or $5, but you're definitely getting what you're paying for. And this is not something you're really supposed to consume a large amount of anyway. So I'm excited for that. This is something we were going to do for a while. And I think we also going to start selling the raw cod livers again, just frozen. It's just, you know.
And how is my nigga Tommy Sotomayor wrong about these black whores? They're fat, loud-mouthed, rude, have attitudes, and if you date them they probably a single mother, so baby daddy drama.
Let me see.
White people in general, I'm tired of you motherfuckers. I'm tired of your incompetence. I'm tired of your laziness. I'm tired of you not washing your ass on a regular fucking basis, and then we have to be susceptible to that shit. I'm tired of you having babies on fucking leashes.
Won't you shut the fuck up before they do the remix?
Okay, thanks for the donation, Kid Boo.
It takes a lot of time to go through them, and there's a lot of waste. You know,
If someone killed and ate carnivorous animals like lions and tigers, would you consider them vegan if lions and tigers are the only animals they eat?
I guess. Thanks for the donation, you fucking idiot.
about half the cod livers go to waste when you do this. These are just some extra cookies that didn't turn out as well, whether they were overcooked or a little dry, so I'm just gonna feed these to my goats when I get them. Most of the Italian cheeses are restocked.
He's gonna feed cookies to his goats. Can goats eat chocolate? It doesn't even like that. What a fucking idiot.
Today, notably Pecorino Romano, Parmigiano Reggiano, Asiago, and the Fontina. Over here we have the fresh cookies that we do every week. New batch of Oreos, our best batch yet, very delicious. I made these myself. So if you guys are missing the nostalgic Oreos.
Oh, look at that. He's stealing intellectual property again. Oreos. Not your idea, Frank.
Cookies, I'll actually have these for breakfast sometimes. All high quality, healthy, organic ingredients.
Yes, healthy Oreos, I'm sure.
Iberico ham plates. And then here we just have a bunch of different charcuterie. Some more raw brains, some more raw glands. I think there's
Fuck would eat this shit.
Yeah, there's some more raw brains in there, but there's our prosciutto, our Iberico Bologna ham. Here's all our smoked brisket, our smoked bacon products here. We also made a fresh batch of hamburger buns, hot dogs, and hoagie rolls. Yeah, we were running low on a few different sourdough products, so those are all being baked fresh. I don't know, whenever I can get in here for a few hours without feeling like I'm gonna fall apart. So maybe Tuesday we'll bake all that stuff off, all the sourdough loaves, all the garlic sourdough, the hamburger buns, hot dog rolls. Might remake the donuts because they didn't turn out how I liked again. It's not easy making this stuff. So let's take a look in the freezer. Yeah, here are the donuts that we just made today.
Look at the way One Piece designs its fucking characters, ass nigga. And yet One Piece fans wanna talk about it's the best anime? They're all a bunch of commie lip faggot fucks.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it's the most well-drawn or animated. Thanks for the donation, Kid Boo.
They didn't proof as much as I'd like, so we'll probably have them on discount. We made sure to really have attention to detail with all of our products. You know, some of you guys were saying there was too much meat in the ground beef fat, so we made sure to remove that meat and have just like only high quality grass-fed beef fat in the ground beef.
What do you do with this? Like, it's not food.
Got for you guys. And that goes the same for the actual whole beef. So, you know, for the suet fat, there's like no beef trim in there anymore. We have a lot of T-bone steaks and basically bone-in New York strip steaks now.
So disgusting.
Very delicious, high-quality local beef. I think my guys made a fresh batch of chicken broth this week. Shouldn't really be called broth because our chicken stock is cooked twice, the highest quality chicken stock online. Here's all our different ice creams. We have everything in stock for the most part. Vanilla, chocolate, honey, chocolate swirl, all that stuff. Yeah, this is all our soups and our stocks. Looks like my guys have some baked goods mixed in over here. Those are the dark chocolate chip muffins. Here's some turkey over here. Still have plenty of...
Super Boo donate $2. Did you ever admit to having autism? I don't know if I'm autistic or not. Thanks for the donation, Super Boo.
frozen hamburgers and cheeseburgers if you guys want a quick meal. Over here we got most of the beef rib stuff. Whether you want like whole ribs, cross-cut ribs, or like boneless ribs. I showed you guys this last week. We got like the apple fried pies, the Twix bars, all of our sourdough stuff over here. You guys can see we're running a little low on some stuff. That's why I not eat a turkey for Thanksgiving. Different types of pet food. So we're gonna have one pet food that's going to be, I forgot to grab some chocolate chip cookies for my dinner because that's basically all I eat now. Yeah, things just really aren't going as planned. I'm tired of getting ripped off by everyone. I know I shouldn't have done it. Like, it's not even just this warehouse now where we got all the defective potato chip machinery. They never gave me the grant to do the front of the store. Now even just my house is a disaster because I did someone a favor. His brother needed work. He was a contractor. I said, okay, you could do some work in my...
Dodo, donate $2. Let me see.
Rebecca Kadaga, Deputy Prime Minister of Uganda. You take a picture with your father, you're smiling, he's smiling. She's known as Rebecca Gay Killer Kadaga. You're a citizen of Uganda. You took the picture, you said you didn't know who she was, it turns out you did. How do you not renounce your citizenship or demand BDS against Uganda for imprisoning people who are gay? Just by their sexual orientation. Isn't that a basic violation of human rights?
I think he gets the question.
Then you take a picture with Rebecca Kadaga, Deputy Prime Minister.
Yeah. Hopefully, this turns things around, but New Yorkers are fucking stupid, dude. Just outrageously stupid. I think they're voting for Mamdani more because they're thinking diversity, equity, inclusion, and they hate Jews. Who knows? Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo.
My house, so I gave the guy a chance, and basically he left like 3 jobs a disaster. The guy's like a tornado. Like I got a problem.
This guy's body dysmorphia is even worse than Frank's.
I heard this guy is 2 years out from his bone lengthening surgery, and he's still walking in crutches. He's like permanently disabled. Yeah. That's not a good idea. He literally can't work. Like he can't walk. I'm pretty sure this is 2 years after the bone lengthening, and he still can't walk. So he's just permanently crippled. These people are just fucked. Thanks for the donation, Blackberry.
We sue the city to find out what his insurance company is and get them to pay for it because my siding and windows are a disaster. Like the HVAC system is ripped apart, complete disaster, and the roof now separate contractor. These guys came, tore the roof off my house, and then changed their mind. Oh, we need more money. So like my house is literally ripped apart, and I'm spending like almost every waking second just trying to fix my house myself, which I can't do because it's just too much work. And there's not that many contractors and people up in my area, so it's not that easy to find anyone. So hope myself. So it's just too many dried apples that we've had on Frankie on the inside. Really, really nice. Have like a little more, like really, they're just a bunch of liars and all they care about is money. It's kind of sketchy to me how they try to market their poultry and stuff and their products as like the highest quality, pasture raised, organic, local farm, support our family. And it's like they're giving them organic corn and soy and they don't tell you that. And their poultry is double the price of mine. And then they have then they're smiling in their picture as they charge you double the price for turkey. Yeah, I wonder why they're smiling. I gotta go home and just write up some legal papers with whatever energy I have left for today.
I can still feel my balls somewhere far away. It's like a voodoo doll but just my balls.
I'm actually curious about that. Do you have, like, phantom pain? Because, like, when people get their limbs amputated, they still feel, you know, the limb. Do you have that when you get, like, you know, that penile inversion surgery? Thanks for the donation, non-web.
So if you guys go to frank-tufano.com, you can see all of the businesses that you can support me through. The meat website, the foods website, organ supplements, Wi-Fi shielding, Frankie's Natural.
Science-based training as a community is starting to collapse in on itself. I have proof, I have receipts, and of course it is. It's a fugazi, it's a North Korean city. There is nothing substantive to it. It's barbell apparel, free hoodie sale, the hoodie together and falsified after the fact to look like a final draft. Gets traction, takes off, and then here he has the Jeff Nippard follow-up. Unpublished here. I'm less interested in this 18,000 views. This has been, views are trending down. Now what about the main?
Whoa.
He would use that to prop up all of his views on 20,000 views for these AI and cutting edge technologies and social issues that I'm not out of this alive, especially with Mike continuing to fire missiles into like this Ethan Suplee one was big, Joe Rogan, V Shred, Sam Sulik, David 60 IQ responsible for a lot of their growth. But now as his reputation is starting to suffer, what do the channel stats look like? Oh boy, that stings, man. As a YouTube creator, again, these are just rough numbers. Multiple videos in a row. You got 800,000, 300,000, 600,000 just regularly. Once in a blue moon, he'd go something that's under 200,000, but it'd be some weak top 100,000. Doing that extra 1,000. This shit is devastating to a channel. I don't know that you can come back from this. And keep in mind that Mike Israetel is not yours truly. He is not sitting in a small 300 square foot.
Yeah, he's a dork.
And all the animals that died for Frank.
Yes, that is true. Thanks for the donation, James.
There are two of them now?
How you gonna feel about that if you don't mind me asking? Is your mom a guy or a girl? Let's ask her. She's dead. Hey, bro, what you putting dot? I'm supposed to feel bad because you saying you talking shit to me. So I talk shit back to you, and then you put she's dead. Dot dot dot.
Like, she's definitely more ratchety than Low Tier God. I do get a similar energy, though. Thanks for the donation, Saturn, stick victim. Kid Boo donate $2.
No, but it took like a few weeks for my body to remap the nerves. I didn't expect it to figure it out so quickly, but now when I poke somewhere I feel it in the right spot.
Alright, that's interesting. Thanks for the donation on web.
The scientific genius of character versus Orochi Do Ashisogi Jizo. Drugs that
I can't give to. Bleach sucks, dude. Thanks for the donation, Kid Boo. Oh, man. I think I need to go to sleep. I'm feeling a bit sicker. My nose is getting more stuffed. Thoughts on Susan Bratton? I don't know who that is. God damn. Is that all shows one clip? Oh, weird.
Nice
yeah,
pause.
Alex and Clarence
We can go beyond this.
were training at my home gym.
Don't get injured now.
That's maybe, yeah, maybe if you put it all together.
Yeah. Let's go. Ha, easy. Okay.
I will say this, the autofocus on his camera is not as good as the Sony's.
Moves like butter. Fuck, yeah. Easy. Come on. Nice. Let's go. Good job. Thank you. Oh yeah. Sir, let's go. Strong. Sheesh. Another one. Yes. Come on. Drive.
Yeah, I probably could have gotten
You're strong, man. Wow.
That's actually close to a PR.
Dude, you could probably bench 4 or 5 in 3 weeks.
Yeah, probably.
Easy.
Yeah, my PR for 315 is 9. That was 8.
Sheesh. Good job. It's got to gradually ramp up. Yeah. 7 or 8. You're good. Let's go.
Yeah, those are 45s.
Yeah, you got one more. Nice. Thank you. Like you said.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, back double.
Oh, back double?
You know what's cool? You see the silhouette. Most muscular. There you go.
Dude, I'm actually looking fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't even, like, it's hard for me to tell how big I've gotten when I just look in the mirror, but when I look at, like, camera footage of myself, it's, like, surprising.
Yeah, I want to get up to about 240. Then I'm probably going to go compete. Yeah.
Compete against Samsung?
Yeah. Yeah, if I can kind of be at that level, I'd be happy.
Yeah, because you're saying there's no, like, enhanced vegan body.
Yeah. Alright, so it goes all the way to the edge. That's it.
Okay, let's do. Come on.
My shoulders are just
I'll just do
popping.
that.
Finish completely?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's a nice single.
Yeah, but not really.
Incredible.
Perfect.
There you go.
I don't know, I feel like the one arm mechanics are different. Like even Trent to bar, just this is fun.
Yeah.
It's just, it's right there.
I've met people in like bang gyms that are like really good at the final portion. Like I saw one guy literally just jump in the bar, grab
You
the
think
bar,
Sasquatch
and
is
he
just an
can't- he
escape
can't
gorilla?
use
There's no
They do a lot of,
Sasquatch.
static
He's
holds
just
up there.
Mm.
It's a bit different. It's like arm wrestling training, but
Pokes.
with
Yeah.
climbing.
Oh yeah.
Sorry about that. I usually
Yeah, I think you can do one arm pull-ups. Pretty crazy. That's super impressive.
I usually
Let's go.
yeah. But I was where you were at.
Oh,
That's a lot of fucking reps.
So you're
No, wider grip on pull-ups doesn't really target your back more.
Nice form.
And my back has grown a fucking shit ton. Fucking traps have gotten crazy.
Yes, sir.
bodybuilding shit on there.
Back double.
Yeah, I was having a bit of water retention from the Cialis too, so I look a little, like, not quite as lean, but I still look very lean.
Should do a vacuum front double too.
I'm looking fucking jacked, dude. Gains are fucking real.
Incredible.
Does that count the second rep? Oh.
Nice job.
Rear back double's good.
The rear delts are crazy. Look at the pec striations. See that split right there.
Alright.
Good stuff.
It's easier on the shoulders too.
I can do else.
Oh, even on the way.
Nice. Go, go, go.
This to.
Yeah, I tried the human flag. Can't do
I
it.
saw a video of Larry Wheels is doing coming close to the inland as well.
It's all good.
Yeah, I've never tried that.
Nice.
Kid boot tillers. I'll look at that in a second. Please. I'm surprised nobody has like ever done these. Like I don't see anybody doing this exercise.
Pretty good. Is this an optimal exercise?
Maybe not. Pretty close. Actually feels really nice on my shoulder. That's why I'm doing it, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah, try to go more on your side.
Okay. I feel that. Like loop. Does feel good though.
Yeah, these are god tier shoulder exercise. The incline laterals.
Yes. Nice set, man. Nice holding it up.
Yeah, the shoulders are just getting fucking nuts.
Let's go. There you go.
Yeah, I think I'll chop up some of this footage and make a vid. Kid Boo donate $2. Oh yeah.
Some societies, like Koreans, when they might have a god complex, but they don't have a history of oppressing another group of people.
Each other, right?
Are you out of your mind?
Yeah, what the?
What do you mean?
You don't think Asians had? They didn't oppress.
Koreans didn't have slaves. We didn't fly.
Did Koreans have slaves?
Korea had the longest unbroken chain of slavery of any society in history.
Proving our point here. All of this hedge fund here, BlackRock here, Crystal Rock over there, that's all of you guys who made this. We do no. We have ETH, Bitcoin, we don't do BlackRock. So you guys ruined the economy by making these hedge funds so high. Oh, I want to spend this much on a house. You guys inflated the economy over your lifetimes. That's facts.
Well,
we just got here. We just got.
BlackRock is one of the biggest holders of Bitcoin. Thanks for the donation, Kid Boo. Those fucking, it's like Gen Zers seem retarded. You ever partake in some Asa Akira entertainment? I don't find her that attractive. What exercise were you doing with the dumbbell? It's, I call them incline laterals. I'll make a video on that exercise specifically because I don't see anybody doing it and I think it's great. That blew up my shoulders even when I was like natural. Like I don't just have like good shoulders because I'm on steroids. When I was natty, those really blew up my shoulders. Let me see. Yeah, like I had good shoulders when I was natural. All right, I'm gonna go to bed. I am sick and I need some rest. Before the snow falls, will you take us on another e-bike ride like you did in the past? I don't want to dox myself, so it's hard, like, riding my bicycle around without, like, exposing where I live. I'd like to film more, like, bicycle content. I'll probably do some more motovlogs and stuff, even over the winter, but... yeah, it's hard not doxing myself on the bicycle. I just don't find Asa Akira all that attractive. It's the way it is. She is a freak, though. Alright, so I'm gonna try to get some rest, hopefully by tomorrow. This cold kind of subsides. What I'm planning on doing regardless is putting together the belt squat. So I think I'll do a stream in the afternoon where we just assemble the belt squat. That'll probably take a while anyway. Yeah, I'm on steroids. So yeah, I'll probably do a stream in the afternoon where we put together the belt squat. I don't know if I'll be over the cold enough to actually do a workout, but we'll assemble the belt squat and then we'll do like a normal stream later. Thankfully, the water retention's going away. So it looks like the black market Cialis that I took is working its way out of my system, and I'm like able to actually piss out all the excess fluid. Yeah, right now, almost all the water retention's gone from my ankles and calves, and still got a little bit to get rid of, but almost all of it's gone, which is great. That was horrendous. That is fucking hilarious, by the way. That, zero side effects from the steroids, but black market Cialis, that's what gave me the fucking water retention. So, I actually went off my growth hormone for the last couple days to try to get the water retention to subside, so I'll probably do the growth hormone again tonight, since most of it's gone. Get back on the growth hormone, and should be getting back to normal. But, did you guys go anywhere good to eat besides the cauliflower place?
Why didn't you stream with Alpha Destiny and Clarence? I would have liked to donate during your reps.
Yeah, that's why I didn't do the live stream. Because I figured it would be cancerous. Thanks for the donation, though, 21st. So, yeah, we went to Pure Kitchen in Ottawa on Elgin, and we also went to Yugi Rolls. Alpha Destiny, Clarence, and I picked up Yugi Rolls and ate at the park. I think Clarence filmed some footage of it, so when he does his vlog, you'll see it. I bought a fuck ton of food. I bought $400 worth of Chinese takeout from there for all of us. That was fucking good. Dude, I hope I win the lottery so that, like, if I want, I can just spend stupid money on stupid things. Like, get, 20 orders of the fried, mushrooms that they sell there. That'd be great. But, hope you all had fun. Yeah, Alpha Destiny's vegan. Hope you all had fun. Big thanks to everybody who donated on Streamlabs. Really appreciate it. And, yeah. Public service announcement. Apparently, black market steroids are safer than black market Cialis. So, watch out for that. I'm not gonna buy black market Cialis again. And, yeah, I'll be on tomorrow. We'll assemble the belt squat, and we'll just do a normal stream later. But thanks again, everybody. As always, keep making those vegan and steroid gains. And I'll see you all tomorrow.